ESPN welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
A lot of the folks who were part of Super Bowl I are here tonight. Bob Stradowski, Willie Davis were the Packers captains in Super Bowl I, and here they were for the coin toss in 1967 before what was then known as the World Championship game. John Gilliam, Jerry Mays of the Chiefs are there. So great to see those and many other Packer alums from Super Bowl I here this weekend and at Lambeau tonight. Started raining about 2.5 hours ago. Showers are dissipating. Looking at the radar in front of me, I think we're past the worst of the rain. Maybe just a light shower the rest of the night. Chiefs won the toss, defer the option. Aaron Rodgers and the Chiefs and the Packers offense first against the Chiefs defense as the Chiefs' Carlos Santos is set to kick. Ty Montgomery back to receive. And off we go from Lambeau. A rookie from Stanford, Montgomery, will bring it back. And he'll take it to the 30-yard line and push forward to the 32, 37 on the return as Montgomery took a hit and is slow to get up on the back end of that. Here comes Aaron Rodgers. You see that 24th overall pick, the reigning NFL MVP in the regular season, 37-3 in his last 40 starts.
Rare combination of quickness, Mike. He's got the quickest arm and one of the quickest minds you'll see, and he loves to compete.
They like a lot of three receivers. Montgomery brought back that kickoff, limped off the field. So let's watch that and how it impacts their personnel. Drive begins at the 31 towards Davante Adams, and it's incomplete. Marcus Cooper was in coverage. Let's go right back to Rodgers and the receiving core. This was the return on that kickoff. And as Montgomery got hit at the back end of it, see his leg will get bent there, and he came limping off the field. So he's being looked at by the athletic training staff of the Packers. Second down, toss to Eddie Lacy off the ankle injury last week against Seattle. Gains 5 until Philip Gaines, the starting corner, makes the stop.
Eddie Lacy adds so much balance to this Packers offense. This is a top 10 rushing team, and a lot of it's because of Eddie Lacy and his versatility. Has been an outstanding runner and receiver, and has become a 3-down back that can pick up blitzes. 35.
Use the hard count to get the information. The Chiefs rush 5. Rodgers throws through the hands of Davante Adams and incomplete as Rodgers was hit by Justin Houston, the sack king of the NFL a year ago.
A lot of people just spend time counting Houston's sacks, but Houston has a factor grade, Mike. He punishes quarterbacks. Some of these don't show up on the stat sheet. That is not a good sign for Green Bay, and Davante Adams came off limping.
Yes.
Montgomery and Adams, two Packer receivers, that does not look good.
Adams favoring the left leg as he comes to the sideline. And Tim Mastay is set to kick for the Packers. 39 on the kick, no fair catch, so the immediate hit at the 25-yard line on D'Anthony Thomas. And Jeff Janis down there along with Quentin Rollins for the Packers on the stop. So Green Bay, after the 3-and-out, turns the ball over to the number 1 pick of that same 2005 draft that gave us Aaron Rodgers. It's Alex Smith. Of course, the 8 years in San Francisco, now 3rd with Kansas City. And, John, the question with Smith will be, how aggressive are they offensively? They manage the ball very, very well.
Well, they're going to have to pass protect a lot better. Keep an eye on Eric Fisher, number 72 at right tackle. He makes his season debut tonight.
In the starting lineup, former number 1 overall pick. There's Jamal Charles for the first time, and only a yard for him. B.J. Raji slimmed down and playing terrific to start this season.
B.J. Raji back at the nose tackle position. Has had some injuries, the bicep tear last year, but Mike McCarthy told us he's coming off his best performance against the Seattle Seahawks. Important that they stop the inside run to Jamal Charles.
Officially the gain of 2. It's Smith to throw. Avant is covered, so Smith will keep it. He'll slide down just under the headhunting tackle. It'll be 3 yards shy of the first down. That was Clinton Dix coming after Alex Smith. Protecting him, a rookie center in Mitch Morse. And John mentioned the former #1 overall pick, Fisher, who's back in the starting lineup. As for who handles it, the rookie O'Shaughnessy, along with Travis Kelce, their best pass game weapon for now. Niall Davis will join Charles carrying the ball. Jeremy Maclin from Philly to Kansas City. Will this be the night the Chiefs get a wide receiver to catch a touchdown? Didn't happen at all last year. Hasn't happened the first 2 games this year. 3rd and 3. Smith throws the slant. Tried to get it to Maclin. It's incomplete. Casey Hayward, the corner, jumped the route.
Casey Hayward has played very well for Green Bay in a contract year. Alex Smith expecting Maclin to cross his face in that situation, and Kansas City desperately needs a 3rd down conversion, Mike. Now 3 for 21 on the regular season. That won't cut it.
Dustin Colquitt back to kick. A foot away, not a great kick there. On the bounce, Hyde will take the 44-yard kick. Returns it 5 yards, just past the 30-yard line. Very similar starting position for Green Bay. Each team 3 and out to get us started. No score. 2:40 gone by at Lambeau. ESPN's Monday Night Football brought to you by GMC. We are professional grade. Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beer, sports. And NFL Game Pass. Replay every NFL game all season. Start your free trial at NFL.com/Game Pass. All green still as we wrap up September here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Our coverage tonight from Spider Cam is brought to you by DirecTV. Each team 3 and out. 2nd straight drive for the Packers starting at their own 31-yard line. And we see 83 go to the top of the screen. That's Jeff Janis. He is essentially their 5th receiver, as Green Bay has been banged up to start this game at the receiver spot. Rodgers spreads him out, and with time will go towards Janis, who's out of bounds, and the pass is incomplete. Lisa Salters watching what's going on with the Packer receivers.
Yeah, Mike, Devontae Adams is over here on the Packers bench. It looks like a left ankle injury. The shoe and the sock are off, and right now he has ice packed on that left ankle. Right now his status for the rest of the game unclear. Mike.
Okay, Lisa, thank you. Meantime, Ty Montgomery, who was injured on that initial kickoff, has come back for Green Bay, and Montgomery's up at the top of the screen. James Starks is the back. It's a pitch to Randall Cobb. Around the edge, got a good block from Richard Rodgers to set him up for that first down.
Reverse. And Randall Cobb coming from right to left. Fools Tomahawley. Nice job by Rodgers at tight end, number 82, with the backside block. Good way to slow down the pursuit early with the reverse. And Randall Cobb, one of the more versatile pro football players, gets a first down.
First down of the game either way. Here is Starks into Chiefs territory. Give him 10. And a Green Bay first down. So blocking for Starks and Lacey and protecting Aaron Rodgers up front. Good core. Lindsley is 2nd year. The 2 guards are veterans. We'll watch the tackles under pressure tonight. We just told you about Starks and Lacey, James Jones, Randall Cobb, the receiver spots, and Richard Rodgers, that tight end who threw the nice block earlier. Had a touchdown against Seattle last week.
319!
Throw it out to James Jones, just back with the pack. What an acquisition he was. So gains of 11, 10, and 12 on 3 consecutive plays for the first down, Green Bay.
The hand signal by Aaron Rodgers. He saw the 7-man front. He signals, and Randall Cobb kicks it outside to James Jones. Everybody's on the same page. And yards after the catch, Mike, a huge part of this Packer offense. 70% of their yardage comes after the catch.
Rookie Marcus Peters missed the tackle, allowed Jones to get the game. From the 34, Rodgers scanning, just shovels it to Lacy. Looking good on that ankle. There goes Lacy inside the 10. First and goal for Green Bay.
Aaron Rodgers in the pocket is amazing. It's continuous movement. Watch him. His feet will never be set tonight. He's looking right to the left. His feet stay alive, and he knows where every check down is in this offense. He plays with great poise under fire. What a play.
First and goal, Packers. After gains of 12, 10, 13, and 26. Rodgers, touchdown, Montgomery.
If he gets protection, it's over. He stays alive in the pocket. His feet always in concert, moving around, looking right, looking left. Deadly accurate. And Montgomery is making his presence felt with Davante Adams on the sideline. His feet remind me of Joe Montana, the old 49er quarterback, Mike. Incredible ability to get to his second and third options from awkward deliveries.
We'll see how successful the Packers have been to start games. Mason Crosby adds the extra point. The rookie from Stanford, Ty Montgomery. Where the Cal and Stanford get along, but they do just fine here in Wisconsin. Kid's first time to get a Lambeau leap. Montgomery's in. The Green Bay's on top. Well, John, after going 3 and out, Green Bay got right to the tempo they love. They completed 4 plays, double digits, whether runs or passes. They capped it with the Montgomery touchdown.
Yeah, he sees man-to-man coverage, and you see exactly who he's going after. He's going after Marcus Cooper, who's filling in for Jamel Fleming at right corner, and he found the right man in that situation.
Tumbling kickoff, stutter step decision by Niall Davis at the goal line. Good choice to bring it out. The backup running back cuts inside of Crosby, takes it across midfield, and the Chiefs will start in Packer territory at the 48. Nice return by Niall Davis.
Niall Davis had a house call last year. He's capable of going to the distance. A little uncertainty whether or not he was going to bring it out or stay in the end zone, but if you give Niall Davis a crease, he can hurt you. And he sets up Alex Smith with a great opportunity to take a shot off play action.
That return was 54, half of what you mentioned, John, the 108-yard kick return that Davis had against Denver. Pressure right up the middle. They block Clay Matthews, but Raji gets a hit on Jamal Charles. Final tackle made by Green Bay's Mike Pennell. So he's up front. Raji and Daniels led this team in quarterback hits and pressures for D linemen. Clay Matthews, all-pro player on the outside, kicked inside. Julius Pepper still going at age 35. In the secondary, Micah Hyde starts at safety. Morgan Burnett is out with a calf injury. He missed week 1, and Chicago ran very well. Not happening thus far. Mike Daniels throws Charles for a loss.
Boy, nobody blocked him. And Mike Daniels, the leader of this defensive line for the Green Bay Packers, he rocks Jamal Charles. You see Fisher at right tackle number 72 blocking down. He does not get it done. And Fisher has been scrutinized for obvious reasons. The ex-number 1 overall pick. Beat badly there.
Chiefs didn't convert a third down all game against Denver. Missed their first chance tonight. This is a low percentage one, 3rd and 13. Matthews now on the edge, rushing back in the face of Smith, who throws, and it's nearly intercepted. It hung up there, and Chris Banjo, who's seeing some time because of the injuries back at safety, had his hands on a would-be pick.
Clay Matthews is amazing, Mike. He's playing middle linebacker throughout the game. And then on 3rd and long, Dom Capers says, go put pressure on the quarterback. I don't know very many players that I've seen that can do what Clay Matthews is doing, mastering 2 positions in the National Football League in prime time. What a performer he is.
Quick, big rush. Gets it away. We'll try to pin Hyde inside the 10. And it's just outside the 10-yard line on that 40-yard boot by Colquitt. Packers rolled it down the field last time. Back on the field in a moment. Career, Aaron Rodgers has a great record here, but over the last 40 games, it's off the charts. 37-3. And just 39 touchdowns since the last time he threw an interception here at Lambeau. That's an NFL record. Rodgers came in at 451, had the 6 tonight, so that's 457 regular season passes here at Lambeau since he was last intercepted. I have to go back to December of 2013. Any reason that he's so good here other than the fact that he's really good everywhere?
I don't know. We asked him, how come you're so good at home? He says, I'm good on the road, too. What film are you looking at? I agree with him.
And that's him. He's confident without the arrogance. Eddie Lacy in the back. Drive started at the 11. Lacy up the middle. He's going to gain about 3 against his good Chiefs defense. Dontari Poe with the tackle. John lost short passes in this offense right now.
Look at that. 27 of his 43 completions are 5 yards or less. And you just saw that touchdown drive. Most of those completions were 5 yards or less. They have a new right tackle. They're missing Jordy Nelson. Davante Adams is out. You're seeing an emphasis on the quick passing game. He may never throw an interception if he's throwing the ball 5 yards or less.
That chart from the first 2 games, the win over Chicago at Soldier Field, the victory over Seattle here at Lambeau. Here now he searches, throws across the middle, and incomplete for Montgomery. And here comes a flag, and John, number 31 in Chiefs red and white, targeted again.
Well, Jamel Fleming replaced by Marcus Cooper, and they got him for a PI here.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 31, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
First time we hear from John Parry. Here's the indication on the flag.
Well, they got him on a touchdown pass earlier. Cooper wanted to push off, but clearly Aaron Rodgers has his sights set on Marcus Cooper, who is Jamel Fleming's backup. And Mike Fleming gave up 17 completions in 2 games, and Rodgers is going to find out a lot about Marcus Cooper tonight.
So a little touch hold gives him a first down. Lacy turning, spinning, takes Derek Johnson right to the 30 and very short, or just short, of that first down. Well, we mentioned Eddie Lacy limited to just the 3 carries. We might see more of a sharing with James Starks, this big back in his 3rd year out of Alabama with that ankle injury, a hard running style, 1,139 yards, offensive rookie of the year season the year prior. Both years he's been in, over 1,000 yards, 10 touchdowns each season. But they will monitor his workload here tonight. But you get to see Starks, who is stopped right at that first down line on the 2nd and short. Justin Houston made the tackle. And John, when you bring Starks in, it's not like you take a deep downgrade.
No, every time you see Starks play, something good happens. He can run it, he can catch it, and he obviously is good in clutch situations. Remember, as a rookie, he was on PUP out of Buffalo. He shows up late in the season and ends up being a Super Bowl hero.
Quick count, 3rd and 1. Rodgers going up top, and it's incomplete. They try to catch the Chiefs there in terms of personnel, spread it out and take a shot down the field. It was incomplete. And with 2nd and 1, a couple of chances to convert. They do not get it. Let's see if there's a flag down here. Rodgers said we caught him with 12 on the field. And the officiating crew talking about Andy Reid, wondering what's going on. You see Rodgers walked right out there and told them it was 12. And they're going to drop the flag.
$12 men on defense. 5-yard penalty. Replay, 3rd down.
Telling Philip Gaines, we caught you guys, and they did. You see, Jay Howard running off at the top was the 12th, and the snap happens 2 steps before, as Howard wasn't in a full sprint there.
See, that ball is on the right hash, Mike. that Jay Howard has a long way to go. And these tempo plays work extremely well when that ball is on your sideline because the defensive linemen have so far to run. But Rodgers doesn't miss much.
Athletic training staff is looking at Eddie Lacy on the sideline. Not at his ankle for the moment. He keeps Starks in the game next to Rodgers out of the gun. And Aaron's pass is complete to James Jones in front of Marcus Peters. We have another flag down. This in the middle of the secondary.
Gaines and Randall Cobb going at it in the middle of the field.
Illegal contact. Defense, number 29. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Look at Eric Berry.
Eric Berry, who of course is back for Kansas City after missing the last part of last year, dealing with his diagnosis of cancer.
A lot of penalties this year.
Third first down picked up via penalty for the Packers. And Starks with the cutback run across the 45 and to the 47-yard line. Berry there on the tackle, Lisa Salters.
Yeah, Mike, well, I talked to Eric Berry's lead oncologist from the Winship Cancer Institute at Emory in Atlanta. He told me what he's doing coming back 9 months after being diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, nothing short of extraordinary. He said even he thought it was a long shot because of the chemo. I'll detail that more in a bit.
Okay, 2nd and 2. His teammates so inspired by having his number 5 overall pick, Berry, back in the lineup for Kansas City. Starks remains the back. Berry's right there as they pick up the first down. Go ahead, Lisa.
Like that chemo regimen, the drug's so strong that the doctor said most patients can't even function on a day-to-day basis. Eric Berry was not only functioning, he was working out. And the doctor said just to have him here right now on the football field, just a testament to his will and indomitable spirit.
And you saw how much he played last week. Bob Sutton, the defensive coordinator, Andy Reid, the players marveling that he's been able to go at it. Rodgers pressured, gets it to Starks. Great move by Starks in the secondary to the 30-yard line. 19 on the gain and a first down. Sparks thought he could have had more.
Aaron Rodgers does a great job with his eyes. He looks left the whole way and pumps it. And you see Derek Johnson, number 56, a little bit late to get to the screening back. And eye manipulation, poise in the pocket, and he has an array of friends that can do damage after the catch. Great work by Starks.
Dominant opening quarter here for the Packers. Rodgers complete to the rookie Montgomery. Out of bounds at the 25. Kansas City's defense on the ropes. They've got a rotation of guys they can play up front. As Dontari Poe is returned off a back procedure in July. Jay Howard playing well. DeVito and Bailey there. Derek Johnson back off the Achilles. Houston and Hali off the edge. Good pass rushers. We mentioned Berry, part of that 5 in the secondary. They've been going after Cooper, number 31. Alonzo Harris has now checked in the game at running back for Green Bay. Mentioned Eddie Lacy's being looked at on the sideline this drive. Here's Harris, first carry. Harris to the 10-yard line. Rookie, undrafted, out of Louisiana Lafayette. Mike McCarthy's had a lot of undrafted players make a big impact here.
Take a look at this left guard. Number 71, Josh Sitton. So good on the second level, and you said it, Alonzo Harris, another gem that Ted Thompson found, and Mike McCarthy has no hesitation of playing his rookies.
First and goal, he knows where he wants to go. Rodgers, it's covered, looks up the middle, takes off himself and dives as Hali hits him at about the 3 where the slide began. An injured Chiefs in the back of the end zone.
It's like Gaines, their nickel corner, and
Philip Gaines. Chiefs secondary already missing some parts. Now a starter's down. Not good. Philip Gaines here walked off just about 15 seconds ago back towards the Kansas City locker room as he was trailing in coverage once Rodgers started to scramble. Non-contact. He's trailing James Jones here. Right there, that left knee. He immediately doesn't put any pressure on it and goes down. So Gaines, the second-year player from Rice, is out. Tyvon Branch, a safety, has come in. They'll probably get to Jamel Fleming once again. He's the corner who has been targeted the first 2 weeks. This is 2nd and goal. Rodgers, pick play for Cobb. Branch couldn't stop him at the goal line. Touchdown, Green Bay. Randall Cobb.
He'll go right after your replacement. He doesn't miss anything. He looks across the board. He has so much confidence in his receivers against your defensive backs. Just a quick hand signal. You see Montgomery working interference, and Randall Cobb, for a young receiver, he sure has scored a lot of touchdowns, Mike.
Pylon cam showing you that he easily broke the plane. That is 27 career touchdowns, 2 this year. And a great drive from their own 11-yard line. This Kansas City defense, which came in with some confidence that they would be able to slow down the Packers, giving up 2 big back-to-back drives. So 69 yards and 89. Crosby hits the extra point. First downs are 12-0 Green Bay. Points are 14-0 Green Bay. It's one more time to the end zone for Collins. What a great start for Green Bay here at home. Heard that a whole bunch of times, I bet. 14-0. Packers on top. As Aaron Rodgers started 0 of 3. He's hit his last 6, 2 of them 4 touchdowns. The Chiefs have 2 3-and-outs and a total of 4 yards. And the Packers have just been completely in control these last 2 drives. Niall Davis returned it 54 yards last kickoff. This one will be 0. And the Chiefs start their own 20.
Aaron Rodgers, he believes his 3 receivers are better than your 3 corners. And he takes a look at the matchup across the board. And if your 3rd corner can't cover their 3rd receiver, Randall Cobb will continue to go to Pro Bowls and have great success in Lambeau Field. This spread offense is balanced. Look at what they've done tonight, running and passing. Pick your poison. This is a hard offense to stop with A-Rod behind the center. And Kansas City better get something going quick or they're in real trouble.
Packers show pressure, brings 6. Smith gets it to Charles. Can he get past the first one? No. That is a very big play made by Nate Palmer, the 3rd-year linebacker out of Illinois State.
That's a huge play. This is an all-out blitz, and Nate Palmer has Jamal Charles one-on-one. He has no help here. This is a full blitz, and he's got to buy time for his teammates to get there. And look at the effort. Perry, Hayward. Excellent play by Palmer.
After the gain of 1, Smith has to look at a second option in the middle. Incomplete as he tried to get to Demetrius Harris, who went to college at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee.
Alex Smith is frustrated. This pass protection is just not good enough. Here's Mike Daniels just punishing Laurent Duvernay-Tardif at right guard. 3rd down and 9 against Dom Capers in Lambeau, down 14. Good luck.
Who's coming? How many of those guys? There are 5 green shirts, unblocked. Alex Smith sacked. Loss of 2 on the play. And finally, Joe Thomas. First year at South Carolina State, was on the practice squad last year. Cut came back, got a sack.
Look at this look. Call it their psycho package. They have all these Packers walking around. You don't know who's coming, who's dropping. They cause confusion. Matthews on one side, Peppers on the other. Run for your life and get down has been the story of Alex Smith on a lot of the film I've seen this year.
Thomas was only playing. Nate Palmer came out for a couple of snaps there, and one snap as they were looking at his hand. It's a 50-yard kick fielded by Hyde at the 31. Tries to cut it back, and Hyde gets as much out of it as he could to the 45-yard line. A return of 14. Chiefs on the ropes and in some trouble. They've run 9 plays. They only have 3 net yards. This great start, of course, offensively doing it all year without Jordy Nelson, such a key component. Injured his knee, out to the season. That from the second preseason game. John, they missed so much without having 87.
Such a great receiver in clutch situations. Outstanding after the catch. He gave him a vertical element. Over 1,500 yards, 13 touchdowns. Going to be a hard man to replace. But I see some changes in this Packer offense. It's been more of a quick passing game. And it's a credit to Montgomery, James Jones. Some of these new Packer receivers have really stepped up.
Lacey is back in the game after missing most of the last drive until the touchdown pass. In the 44 here, he goes to the left, only going to gain about a yard as Jay Howard makes the tackle. Numerically, John, what Jordy Nelson meant to this team. When Aaron Rodgers went to him over the last 5 years, great numbers, very few interceptions, such trust there. All those numbers spell one 5-letter word, trust.
Hard to replace trust, especially in big games down the stretch. But you have to earn trust, and that's what some of these other young Packers have to do.
Hawley and Houston waiting to go like they were track stars trying to get out of the blocks. Rodgers comes to the left. Flag is down as Rodgers goes towards the first down. I think he saw there was a hold on the side there. You're going to bring back that run.
Bakhtiari at left tackle. I think that's his 14th holding call.
Offense, number 69, 10-yard penalty, replay, second down.
Bakhtiari's been a very good football player, the former 4th rounder out of Colorado, but this is his 14th holding call since he's been in the lineup. That leads the NFL.
Had a hold of Tamba Hawley and let Rodgers get out the side there. That's one of the very few negatives for the Packers in this first quarter. Green Bay scores twice. Kansas City doesn't have a first down. After 1, Packers by 14.
ESPN, celebrating the legacy of Super Bowl I.
Guys have worn the colors you see on the other coach. Andy Reid, of course, was here in Green Bay as an assistant in the 90s on the Mike Holmgren staff. When he got the head coaching job in Philadelphia, Mike McCarthy left Kansas City and came here to be the quarterback's coach of Green Bay. So these guys have seen this rivalry, quote unquote, from the other side. Remember, these teams used to be up in the Cheese League in the preseason, play each other often. Aaron Rodgers, 2nd and 18. James Jones down the sideline, inbounds. First down at the Chiefs 44.
Aaron Rodgers, he says, if you're going to keep playing man-to-man with backup defenders against my receivers, I'm going to go after you. Tyvon Branch just beaten for the touchdown. Tyvon Branch is a former safety of the Oakland Raiders that didn't even play last year because of an injury. He's in a tough spot.
Yes, the center, which way they had the front set. A gain of 20. Starks tries to go around the right side. Pulled down by Houston for a loss of a couple of yards. John, let's take the big picture of this Kansas City secondary, which is shorthanded. We saw Phillip Gaines get hurt, left knee injury on the last drive. He's out for the rest of the game. So Branch, who was a safety they really signed when they were unsure if Eric Berry would come back from his cancer treatments, he's in, and really they're playing 3 safeties right now. And just Peters, the rookie, and Marcus Cooper at the corners. Rodgers with these receivers against 3 safeties, he should put up big numbers. To the tight end, Richard Rodgers to the 39-yard line. And one of those safeties, Ron Parker, makes the stop.
Well, Kansas City's also missing possibly their best corner. Sean Smith suspended for the first 3 games. and they miss him. They have Marcus Peters playing on one corner. He's played extremely well. The rookie out of Washington. They're supposed to have Steve Smith locking down the other side, and unfortunately for them, Sean Smith, I should say, he's missed Peyton Manning and Aaron Rodgers.
He'll come back on Sunday when they go to Cincinnati. Kansas City needs to take a timeout as they were confused. They may have had 12 players out there. In any case, they were confused about something with all those changes in the secondary. So take a timeout. ESPN's Monday Night Football brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. And ESPNFanshop.com, powered by Dick's Sporting Goods. Of course, it is the rematch of Super Bowl I. Pete Rozelle gives the trophy to Vince Lombardi, a trophy that would later be named after Lombardi. It wasn't called the Super Bowl, as we mentioned before, World Professional Football Championship. Contested at the LA Memorial Coliseum with some empty seats, and then eventually became the Lombardi Trophy. It's interesting to see that very first original trophy handed out without the word Super Bowl on it. Third and 5. Rodgers trying to slow down the rush. Here come 5 Chiefs, and the pass is incomplete as he tried to get it to Richard Rodgers and Hussein Abdullah. A lot of different safeties in there for the Chiefs. He made the play there.
That's an important stop for this Kansas City defense. I think Mike McCarthy's going to go for it. And if I were Kansas City, I would be very careful here with the hard count.
They need 5 at the 39. They go for it, and Rodgers pressured, throws incomplete. No flags down. Rodgers was being hit as he threw, and on downs, the Chiefs will take over. Tamba Hali, the man who got there at the end.
Tamba Hali on a power rush. He goes right down the midline of Bakhtiari, and that was a game plan coming in, well executed.
5 times to the Pro Bowl, one of the top edge rushers in the NFL. Clay Matthews, by injury last year, or need really to clean up the defense last year, and now by injury this year to Sam Barrington, finds himself playing inside linebacker, John, and looks like he's got a home there.
I give him credit. He checked his ego at the door. He'll do anything for his Packer teammates. He wants to rush the passer. That's what he loves to do, but he's making a great sacrifice for this Packer football team.
See if the Chiefs can get a first down. Starting from their own 39, it is Jamal Charles in the flat. Clinton Dix takes him out of bounds after a gain of 5. And we have a penalty marker in the secondary.
Illegal contact, defense, number 91, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
First down of the night for the Chiefs.
Look at this, Mike. Clay Matthews. Early in the game, he's playing inside linebacker on a cross-dog blitz. He disrupts that. Then he plays right in, and he power rushes the tackle, forces an incomplete pass. Here he is playing zone coverage, drive on the ball, incomplete. What a pro football player he is. His football IQ must be off the charts.
Packers thought the Chiefs moved with the right guard spot, trying to get the false start. They do not. And Smith throwing downfield, and there's Kelsey. First big gain, and Kelsey is tripped up at the 16-yard line. We'll mark him at the 18, but the first time Kansas City gets a big one.
It's the same play he scored on against Houston. He's going to start to run a crossing route, and he breaks back to the outside. Ball's well thrown. I like Kelsey. A lot of energy in that body, Mike.
There's some words exchanged, John, after the play as the players are heading back to their respective huddles, and a flag was thrown. Very, very much after the play.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense, number 29. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
It's on Casey Hayward, the starting corner for the Pack.
Travis Kelsey has been the energizer of this Chiefs offense. Everybody complains about the receivers not catching touchdown passes, not throwing the ball down the field enough. Well, Kelsey gives him something to cheer for, and I'd keep an eye on him in these red zone situations. He's Andy Reid's #1 target.
Penalties half the distance to the goal, so the reception of 38 plus the penalty mark-off makes it a 47-yard gain for the Chiefs. And first and goal as Kansas City tries to get back in it. Smith throws to Kelsey, couldn't handle it, and it's incomplete with the man we talked about a moment ago, Matthews, hunting him down in the middle.
That should be a touchdown. They fake the power pass, and it's a little tight end delay, and Andy Reid can't believe it. Watch Kelsey act like a blocker. They're going to pull the backside guard and try to catch Green Bay sleeping. He's got blockers in front. That play should score. Kansas City's red zone offense been lackluster so far this season.
Throw with Charles, and Charles goes to the goal line and is in for a Kansas City touchdown.
That'll get you going, Kansas City. Jamal Charles, totally absent in the first quarter, just put Kansas City back in this game. It's an inside handoff, beautiful cutback running, and you see Clinton Dix and Sam Shields.
He is not down, crosses the plane there, and that should be a score. Of course, since it's a score, they will confirm it. He also, by the way, did the Aaron Rodgers discount double-check belt deal there as he got to the corner of the end zone.
You know, the great pro players, they redeem themselves, Mike. You have 2 fumbles. You feel like you cost your team the game. There's nothing you can do but come out and redeem yourself, and that's a great step towards doing that right there by Jamal Charles.
Born in Sao Paulo, Brazil, Carlos Santos. High snap. Good job by Colquitt to get it down on this moist evening, and the extra point is good. So the Packers went for it on 4th and 5. They were stopped. Chiefs got 2 penalties, 1 big gain. Charles takes it in. Kansas City back in the game. #1 in rushing yards in Chiefs history, now tied for 3rd with Larry Johnson in career touchdowns with 61. Priest Holmes, Tony Gonzalez. The only 2 have been in the end zone more for Kansas City than Jamal Charles. His 8th year out of Texas, came back from that torn ACL had to start the season in 2012. Really a wonderful individual story that he revealed earlier this summer. Carlos Santos line drive kickoff, and it will be returned by Ty Montgomery. Montgomery is going to take it to the 23-yard line. Special Olympics for this summer in Los Angeles. Charles shared the story with the athletes of how that event helped him deal with his learning disabilities.
When I was a boy, I had trouble reading. I found out I had learning disability. People made fun of me. They said I would never go anywhere. I had a chance to compete in the Special Olympics. That's right. The Special Olympics gave me my first chance to discover the talent that I did not know I had.
What an inspiration for those athletes who we watched on ESPN during the summer compete in Los Angeles from all around. To see somebody like Jamal Charles, an established star in the NFL, say, I was in your shoes one day, and share that story with everyone. Got his Chiefs back in the game here. Rodgers back on the field and completes to his tight end. That's the first time it's in the hands of Andrew Quarles for the Packers here this year. His first target and his first reception is a gain of about 6.
We take a look at Houston on this bootleg. He's right in Aaron Rodgers' face. You got to give credit to Rodgers for being able to fade away from the brush and get a completion.
7 on that completion, John, and right back to the air again. It's Randall Cobb out of a would-be tackle, and Cobb accelerates across midfield into Chiefs territory at the 43-yard line. First down.
Tyvon Branch has no chance against Randall Cobb's quickness in the slot. And I know Branch is a former safety, hasn't played a whole lot, but he's going to need a lot of help against Randall Cobb, and Aaron Rodgers knows it.
Just get the sense the Chiefs are holding on here every time Rodgers goes back to pass. The Kansas City secondary. A very depleted secondary right now. Lacey. He'll carry Houston and a couple of other Chiefs to the 31-yard line. Hard running and a first down for that bulldozer of the back out of Alabama.
And it's a sophisticated running game. Going to pull the backside guard, and when you get Eddie Lacy clean into the secondary, it's like tackling a freight train. Well blocked plays and great effort by Eddie Lacy, fighting for every inch.
Just outside of the 30, right back to him. Spins that ankle, showing no ill effects. The sprain last week. He stopped up. Alan Bailey's going to clean him up after a gain of only a yard.
The Packer running game is much more sophisticated than people think. And Aaron Rodgers will not hesitate to audible to a run. And they've got two fresh backs. Lacy, Starks. We've already seen the rookie Alonzo Harris rip off a 16-yard run. Big backs, versatile backs, hard to tackle.
Second and 9, you see Berry directing Tyvon Branch in the secondary. As Rodgers saw Houston slip down, gave him time to get it to Quarles. There's a couple of yards shot of the first down. Marcus Peters with the tackle.
This is a clinic on how to play quarterback. He's got some of the best rushers in the world, putting him under fire. He never panics. Two hands on the ball, eyes downfield, and an unbelievable awareness of where all five eligible receivers are.
This is 3rd and 2 for Rodgers. Play pass, first option covered, buying time, hit, fumbles the ball, it's free, and recovered by the Chiefs, Holly. The hit came from Alan Bailey, and Rodgers buying that time. They kept him in the pocket and forced the turnovers. Their flag down, yes, there's a flag down in the corner of the end zone.
That's a fumble.
Yeah, it's definitely a fumble. Empty hand comes through. They got the ball before he came through.
Illegal contact, defense, number 31, 5-yard penalty, automatic first down. Return, Green Bay.
All that time in the pocket, Marcus Cooper makes contact. As Rodgers stays in the pocket, you can't hit him.
Take a look at Cooper, Mike.
Yep, that's definitely 5 yards downfield. It's definitely, you can look at the top of the screen and see the big screen shows you that Rodgers was still in the pocket about to get hit.
And Cooper's had 2 penalties. He's been beaten for a touchdown. Tyvon Branch hasn't been able to match up. Terrible penalty.
The Green Bay in the red zone. It's James Starks twisting away from the first initial hit to gain a couple of yards. Alan Bailey, third time we've called his name in this quarter.
Here comes number 83. Checking in the game, Jeff Janis. A lot of new Packers play in this offense early in the season. And here's Tom Clements, who's taken over the play calling. That's got to be hard on Mike McCarthy. I mean, how would you like to give up the play calling with Aaron Rodgers and some of these skilled Packers? I wouldn't do it, Mike.
You would have come back for that job.
I want to call the plays myself.
Second down from the 17, Cobb. Got a block. Flag down as Cobb goes to the end zone for the touchdown. But there is a flag down thrown where the block that sprung him happened.
That's that design block play that we see every week, and they may have got Green Bay.
Offense, number 88, 10-yard penalty will replay. Second down.
They get the rookie, Ty Montgomery.
They're going to have 2 lead blockers, and they're going to throw the ball in the flat to Randall Cobb. And let's see if they're blocking before Aaron Rodgers gets rid of this football. Yes, indeed. Green Bay kills people with these run game solutions. They load the box, little hand signal by Rodgers, and that's the first time I've seen Green Bay get called with that foul on that play. Usually Rodgers gets it out so fast, that's not a problem.
But we've seen that. We saw that in our first game, Philly and Atlanta.
3 times they called it.
Passes to Julio Jones. He's still having a great season despite those being called back. Now 2nd and 20. And this pass is hauled in. Beautiful low catch by James Jones in front of Branch. He gets back a good part of the penalty yards. And it'll be 3rd and about 10.
James Jones. 73 catches for the Raiders last year. He gets released. Then he goes to the Giants, gets released, and he's reunited with Aaron Rodgers. And he's made a lot of big plays already in just 3 games.
It's 3rd and 11. It's Justin Houston, 50 in the middle. And he's backing out in coverage. They gave him a different look. And Bob Sutton, the defensive coordinator, calls up a winner on the pressure as Ron Parker got there first.
You can tell Bob Sutton used to work for Rex Ryan with the New York Jets. He's got some nasty 3rd down pressures. And you see on the right side of your screen, Parker unblocked for the easy sack, and Tamba Hali mops it up. And Crosby with a 45-yarder. This is no chip shot, the all-time leading scorer of the Green Bay Packers.
Passed Ryan Longwell for that stat in terms of points last week. Mastay holds from 44. Right down Lombardi Avenue. Packers respond to the Chiefs' touchdown with a field goal. The Green Bay lead is 10. Oh, we celebrate high school football in the towns that we visit on Monday night. Green Bay East and Green Bay West have been playing against each other for over a century. These 2 oldest high schools in Green Bay. They met this year on Friday, September 18th. And East, the school attended by the founder of the Packers, Curly Lambeau, beat the West 43-8. And before the game, some of the seniors from Green Bay East and West were on hand. Got a chance to check out life down the road at 1265 Lombardi Avenue, Lambeau Field, and see the best in the NFL as they prepare for the game. Those kids are here watching the game tonight as well.
These are 2 well-coached teams. Love high school football. We had a chance to talk about it a little bit last week. Keep the game strong. Support these young kids. That's where it all starts. A lot of dreams begin at the high school level, and I had a blast down there. I worked these guys out with our Monday Night Football crew. I put them to the test, Mike. You'll love it.
Yeah, we should tell everyone. We get together with our whole crew of camera, tape operators before the game, and you get to visit with everyone, send them a little message, and we use the players from East and West who are here for a little display. We'll show you that after this Niall Davis kick return to the 22-yard line. So here's a little Gruden's QB camp with the kids from Green Bay East and West earlier tonight.
All right, 22, hey, count 1. Ready?
Ready, set go. Love this play. Let's go trip strike 72 zap X individual. Kill it with 358 cannon. All right, here we go. Ready, set, right.
That's pretty impressive.
I love these young kids. They're so eager to learn, and it's so important to them. And to put the pressure on them like that will make them better.
That's good.
That was great.
Hey, our crew did a great job blocking that table, too, by the way, didn't they? Here's Jamal Charles running to the left for a gain of 2 yards.
Nate Palmer, number 51. Who are some of these Green Bay Packers that general manager Ted Thompson finds and Mike McCarthy plays? And that's a rare combination. The general manager walks down, he says, hey, I got Nate Palmer. Some coaches are reluctant to play an unknown, but Mike McCarthy gives everybody equal opportunity, and man, have a lot of these guys paid off.
Ricky James O'Shaughnessy, the tight end for the Chiefs, is the man in motion as Alex Smith is flushed. Taken toward the sideline, kept it alive, and got something out of nothing there to the 28-yard line. We talk about Rodgers and his movement. This was the strength of Alex Smith all the way back to his college days at Utah.
Over 700 yards rushing the last couple years in Kansas City. You see the cross dog lick. Dom Capers is famous for it. And off goes Alex Smith. Julius Peppers misses in the open field. So does Clay Matthews. And Alex Smith puts Kansas City in a critical 3rd down and 4. Let's see if Jeremy Maclin can wake up this Chief offense.
Anthony Thomas moves back to the backfield. Smith goes to him. Matthews is there. So is Sam Shields. 4th down.
Screenplay to Jamal Charles. Little cross key action in the backfield. Did not fool Clay Matthews. Watch number 52 set the edge. And Sam Shields, the 26-year-old, now the veteran Green Bay Packer corner, makes a beautiful open field tackle.
That's 4 3-and-outs here for Kansas City, or for the Green Bay defense against the Kansas City offense. Dustin Colquitt to kick it away. Micah Hyde retreating with the win, 57 yards. Hyde has some space on the far side but can't get there. Chiefs did a nice job of covering that directional kick. John, you were mentioning 6th-round picks playing. Sitting next to Hall of Famer Ron Wolf is Ted Thompson. Ron Wolf used to pick the players here. Now Ted Thompson does. And they do it so unique. Of the 53 players in green and gold, only 3 played for another team in the league. Peppers, John Kuhn briefly, and you mentioned James Jones, who left to go to the Raiders and the Giants in the preseason. 35 of the 53 were drafted by the Packers, second only to Cincinnati. Why the Bengals have been good for the last few years, why the Packers have been good. We talk about it all the time. Mark Murphy, the team president over there on the left. Ron Wolf helped develop the culture with Mike Holmgren of draft and develop. And Ted Thompson and Mike McCarthy together have taken that forward.
It helps when you have the golden goose like Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers. It all starts with these stellar quarterbacks they've had for years.
Starks is the back from the 32. He runs right. He'll only gain a yard. John, Andrew Quarles, the Packer tight end who on that last drive was tackled low, has gone back to the locker room to be assessed. So we'll keep an eye, see if he returns. Earlier, Green Bay lost receiver Devontae Adams with an ankle injury.
And you see D. Ford, second-year man out of Auburn, has checked in. Important Kansas City gets off the field before the half.
Ford, a pass rushing specialist. Rodgers gets out, takes off, has the 1st down, and casually steps out of bounds. Everybody else is going at breakneck speed, and Aaron Cool is just comfortably dipping out of bounds.
Well, he's been scrambling a lot this year. I counted 16 of them last week against Seattle. And he has acceleration and good judgment. He doesn't take a lot of unnecessary hits, and that is really important because Green Bay's going where number 12 takes him.
Yeah, it's 2, right? Yeah. 2:45 left in the half. Rodgers throws in the middle, and the 2 linebackers were waiting there. Derek Johnson got a hand on it. How good for Green Bay to get this man back, John, after he missed almost all the season. Hurt his Achilles week 1 last year.
Well, he's closing in on being the all-time leading tackler of the Kansas City Chiefs. And just being around Derek Johnson, you get a sense of confidence. When you get Derek Johnson, Mike DeVito, Eric Berry back, you have to be excited if you're a Chief fan. Unfortunately, they're decimated in the secondary, and it's not worked out so far.
Yep. There's a hand signal up to the top. And he laces the back, and Aaron Rodgers didn't like what he had there and takes time out. Each team has 2, 2:41 to go here until halftime. Brewers out of the race, so it's Packers season here in Wisconsin, but the baseball fans in Kansas City are excited. Their Royals have it rolling. They've won the AL Central. They're going to be in the playoffs. Yankees are likely to be the host team for the wild card game in a week. They have an important game against Boston tomorrow night. ESPN, first of 2, and then a very key one of the AL West as the Angels and Mike Trout continue their playoff push. They'll be playing the A's. Angels and the Houston Astros tied in the loss column for that second wild card, still trying to knock on the door first place in Texas. So final week of the baseball season. And big action on ESPN leading to a wild card game you'll see next week here on the network. Rodgers, look, he looks all over the field. 5 eligibles, be ready. Lacey finally got on a late flag as he gets a first down for the moment at the Chiefs' 45. It's almost like Rodgers has a radar lock of where all 5 eligibles are at all time. He doesn't need to really look very long. It's just, okay, I know Lacey's there. Boom, it's on him.
League of use of hands, block in the back. Offense number 88. 10-yard penalty will replay, second down.
Second time Montgomery in this quarter.
Just watch the continuous movement of Aaron Rodgers. He knows where everybody is, but his feet are always alive. It allows him to get to alternate receivers and see the field better. He gets to buy time, but his feet will never be set, Mike. Reminds me of a Joe Montana, the way he was trained in his early days in San Francisco. But look at what it does for him. He can buy time. He senses throwing lanes. He sees the scramble lanes. He's electrifying with his feet. He's like Ali. He can throw any kind of punch at any time, and it's all in his feet.
Penalty pushes it back at 2nd and 14, and a spinning turn by Starks. DeVito had him first, but he stays on his feet to the 44. Mike McCarthy had a very interesting comment. He said Paul Hackett, who helped train him, said when he came to watch during camp, it's all he could talk about. Those feet of Rodgers. The arm's pretty special, too. And that's the Packers up 10 at the 2-minute warning. What happens in Green Bay during a Packer home game? Nothing. That's a shot tonight, downtown Green Bay. Toyota halftime coming up with Chris Berman. Boomer's final drive will look back at the big stories from yesterday. Morton Adam will have the insider update, the Jared Allen trade, and also the latest on Ben Roethlisberger and his injury for Pittsburgh. Toyota halftime coming up. This is 3rd and 10. Great look at Houston trying to get in there, but he's just being a spy for the moment as Rodgers throws over the middle, and it's caught by Cobb at the 41, and a first down gain of 15.
Bob Sutton's trying everything. He's using Houston to spy on Rodgers, but if you play man-to-man, he's going after Tyvon Branch over and over.
Clean catch by Cobb. We're inside the 2. Nobody can challenge. God circles Cobb, working on the safety Branch. And Cobb's got it. Branch tries to pull him down. Cobb trying to get out of bounds. He does, a half-yard shy of the first down. It will be second down.
Randall Cobb in the slot. I had a great conversation with him on the bus. If you put Randall Cobb in the slot, you could argue that he's one of the top 2 or 3 in football. He can run an inventory of routes. He's tough. He'll block. What a competitor he is. He is after a ring. He wants what Aaron Rodgers has, and he knows he's the primary man with Jordy Nelson on his shelf.
Yeah, watch the wrap over there. 319.
Inside run starts. Try to cut it back. Twisted and turned down by Derek Johnson. Let's see where that spot is. The umpire spotting that ball because he's behind the defense inside the 2 minutes. Moving time to check him to first down. Rodgers goes quick. He goes to Jones, and it's incomplete. Out of bounds, James Jones.
12 on the field again.
Did he catch him? Yep, they got a flag on the far side.
Short yardage situations, you can bet on a code word that'll put the Packers on the attack. And I think Rodgers got Kansas City again.
It's interesting because I didn't know if it was close enough to stop it for a first down or not. But certainly
There's
they
2 fouls
subbed.
on the play, both by the defense. Holding, number 38, penalties declined. 12 men, defense accepted. 5-yard penalty, first down.
Penalties are killing Kansas City, but you have to run off the field at full speed. That's the second time Jay Howard not accelerating to the sideline.
You can see the coaches on the sideline.
He was my grinder. He's not grinding off the field.
It ground up right now.
Hey, Don, 5-6.
5th first down via penalty for the Packers offense here tonight.
319. Here you go.
The free play. Rodgers has made a living of this. Takes a shot downfield. And James Jones and Rodgers have done it again. Bakhtiari, the tackle, slow to get up for Green Bay. They did this against Seattle last week.
Offside. Defense. Number 91. Penalties decline. Touchdown.
Draw the offside. Know it's a free play. Take the shot downfield. And they do.
I can't get over the poise that the Packer offensive linemen have. And Aaron Rodgers is shredding Marcus Cooper and Kyvon Branch, the replacement defensive backs of the Chiefs. But that's 3 weeks in a row, Mike. A hard count gets the Packers a free play, and Aaron Rodgers burns them.
Justin Houston upset as well. The Chiefs drilled against that. They faked in practice those hard counts, told the defensive lineman to go offside so the DBs would stay in coverage, not to get burned. Didn't work. Extra point by Crosby, and it is 24-7. You know, that replay showed it really well, John, because you said the offensive line has to be on the same page as Rodgers when that happens, and they were, because as soon as the movement happened with Ali, the ball was snapped right as the left tackle was moving. So the play doesn't get shut down, and Aaron Rodgers uses that mental and physical to get the job done. Let's go back and look at what happened on that play to get the touchdown.
Aaron Rodgers, he goes into the meeting room and he says, hey, I'm going to use a hard count, and if they jump, I'm going to get a free play. So hold your water, remain poised, and I'll do the rest. And he has obviously sold his offensive linemen that I'm going to make big plays, so cool it when I use my hard count. But this is unbelievable. 3 weeks in a row.
And James Jones is so on the same page with him. Sure, he comes from the Giants and was with the Raiders last year, but he's been with Rodgers for years, and that's that trust thing we were talking about. Aaron has the trust in Jordy Nelson. He's not here anymore. But Jones, a veteran, comes back, and he knows the Rodgers mind. He wants to take advantage of things like that, ready to do it.
Well, he meets with the receivers, and they're running the meetings together, quarterbacks and receivers, and he has plenty of time to tell everybody exactly what he wants, and they're listening.
Kickoff is a touchback. And to your point about the meetings, too, John, with the quarterbacks and the receivers, in the rework of this staff, the quarterbacks and the receivers are both coached by Alex Van Pelt. That's a rare setup in the league, so those guys are in the same meeting room. So there is more time to discuss the little things.
I think Mike McCarthy deserves credit for changing things up, and it stimulates Rodgers. He never gets bored. He'll adjust the coaching style. He'll adjust the meeting rooms. And Aaron Rodgers is getting more and more involved with the rest of the football team. He's taking ownership with this franchise, much like Mike McCarthy does.
56 seconds, 2 timeouts for Kansas City. They climb back in the game to 14-7. Packers have scored the last 10. Jamal Charles on a draw to start a drive from their own 20. Last time that happened, that was the scoop and score fumble. Here they just get 2 yards.
There's Joe Thomas, number 48. He just got re-signed. He was on the Dallas Cowboy practice squad. They needed a coverage linebacker. They called Joe Thomas. Mike McCarthy puts him in the game, and he's making plays.
Trying to be careful, trying to get a first down, get this thing going, but not turn the ball over as Charles runs across the 30 to the 33-yard line. 19 seconds left, and the Chiefs will use their second of their 3 timeouts.
A similar situation that happened at the end of the Denver game, Mike. People might be wondering, why would Andy Reid hand the ball off to Jamal Charles? Well, he's capable of ripping off a 25 or 30-yard gain and put you in field goal range. You have to continue to feed a great back, and it's a matter of time before Charles breaks one.
This is a Chiefs team that has been outplayed in all facets here in the first half, and they're trying to do something they rarely do right here. Kansas City hasn't scored a touchdown on a drive that began in the final 2 minutes of a half in their last 61 games. The longest current drought of that kind. They went to 2011, and Matt Castle was their quarterback last time they got a 2-minute drill drive to the end zone.
That gives me a lot of confidence, Mike.
18 seconds, one timeout. And Smith, the crosser, incomplete. That's Albert Wilson. And, you know, we should introduce the wide receivers because I barely mentioned them. Albert Wilson's one of them. Jason Avant, mostly blocks. I don't think Jeremy Maclin's been targeted at all in this first half.
I just can't believe it. And Andy Reid has had a history of using receivers. He and Maclin go back to their Philadelphia days, but Green Bay has not given much time for Alex Smith to throw, and nobody has separated in the passing game either.
Down to 14 seconds. It will be Charles again trying to break one. Got to the 45, and they'll take their final timeout with 8 seconds left after the gain of 12.
That'll set up possibly a Hail Mary.
The kicker, Santos, hit a 53-yarder last year, meaning you need to get to the 35-yard line. So you need to get a 20-yard gain. You have no timeouts, and given that, you would imagine the Packers will be setting up a little fence on the sideline not to let them have that 20-yard out.
Just looking at Packer huddle at Clay Matthews, all the things that he's doing. Forget about playing the different positions. He's got to get the call from the sidelines, make it to his Packer teammates, and then make adjustments if he sees something he doesn't like.
Eight seconds remaining. Packers send 3 DBs back to their own 30 to protect. Smith is scrambling. He's taking off. So unless this scores, the half is over, and it is. It'll help the stats, but not the scoreboard. And a terrific half at Lambeau for Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, who lead 24-7 as we send it to Chris Berman and the Toyota halftime. World champ, twice the MVP of the league. But when it was draft year 2005, he wasn't number 1. He was number 2-4 in selection in the draft. Well, he's been on point, on target. Everything's fine in the bottom of the basket when Aaron Rodgers is shooting it for Green Bay. On a roll, leading 24-7 here at Lambeau. Quarter 3 coming up. Mike Tirico, John Gruden, Lisa Salters back here in Wisconsin. The first half numbers, just 2 of 7 for Alex Smith. He did target Jeremy Maclin twice, by the way, officially. But not much there. A lot here for Aaron Rodgers. Packers in control as we do our DraftKings third quarter reset, John. We look back at the issues in the first half that Kansas City had in a depleted secondary.
Well, if you have injured corners or suspended corners or both, he's going to find your replacements, and he's going to go to work on them, and that's just what he did. Marcus Cooper playing right corner. He's filling in for Sean Smith. He's filling in for Jamel Fleming. It's no contest. Aaron Rodgers keeps his feet alive and makes a beautiful throw for 6. And then Tyvon Branch sneaks in as the nickel corner right away. Aaron Rodgers, touchdown pass to Cobb in the slot. And then right before the half, they get Kansas City on a hard count. Watch him look off the free safety. And again, it's Marcus Cooper at right corner. James Jones just got here. He's got 4 touchdown passes, and Aaron Rodgers has tremendous confidence in his pre-snap recognition and his 3 receivers against your 3 corners. And unfortunately for Kansas City, they're depleted.
Just as the teams came out, these rain showers have popped up again. It was about 2.5 hours of rain. It quit right before kickoff, mostly dry during the first half, but a shower has popped up here as the third quarter begins, with Green Bay kicking off to Niall Davis, who had a 54-yard first half return. Just gets it to the 20-yard line here as we go down to Lisa Salters.
Well, Mike, I just talked to Mike McCarthy, and he gave me a couple of injury updates for the Packers tight end Andrew Corliss. He said they are working on him right now in the locker room as we speak. It's a knee injury. Right now he's listed as questionable to return. But he said wide receiver Davante Adams, we saw him leave the game in the first quarter with a left ankle injury. He is done for the night, Mike.
So the injuries continue to the pass catchers. Green Bay will be down to just 1 tight end. They do have 2 fullbacks dressed here tonight. So back to the Kansas City offense. It has been complete control for the Packers. Chiefs limited to 7 first downs, 2 of those coming by penalty. And just 94 yards in the first half. Kelsey, loss of 3 as Travis is tackled by Casey Hayward.
Well, Jeremy Maclin, if he's not going to catch it, he's going to have to do a better job of blocking. This is a quick screen designed to Kelsey, and number 19, Jeremy Maclin, fails miserably against Casey Hayward. That can't happen. If you're going to run a bubble screen, you need a lead blocker. Ugly start.
Chiefs offense that scored 27 in the Week 1 win against Houston, 24 last week against that good Denver defense. Here's Smith throwing downfield towards Kelsey. Not even close. As Demarius Randall, the first-round pick out of Arizona State, stayed with him in coverage.
This Demarius Randall's interesting. He was a very good safety at Arizona State, and they're making him a big corner. And he can match up against size receivers, and you just saw him match up against a big tight end. They like everything about Randall as a press corner on the outside. And he's got the versatility to go inside in this Dom Capers multiple scheme.
Anthony Thomas in the slot, 3rd and 13. Packers rush 5. It's picked up. It's a short pass to Kelsey. And he'll be well short of the first down. So another 3 and out for Kansas City to begin here in the 3rd.
I think Clay Matthews likes to play. He plays with a rage. Wherever the ball is, he's going to find the man with the ball, and he'll run all the way across field and be a part of it. I love watching players that play with that type of effort and energy every week.
Nothing routine in the rain with the punt and the catch of it. Justin Colquitt took some time to secure that one. Micah Hyde runs to the sideline. It's a great kick. 48 yards. No chance to return it. And Rodgers, the Packers, got it at 30 when we come back to Green Bay. From Green Bay, ESPN's Monday Night Football is brought to you by Arby's. Arby's, we have the meats. And Toyota. Let's go places. There you look at Lambeau. First game played here 58 years ago tomorrow. It was the Bears and the Packers. You see the happy Packer fans and Spider Cam, which is brought to you tonight by DirecTV. Gotta protect the cheesehead, so you use cardboard. Drive starts at the 30 here for Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. The always dangerous Orange Bozo. Here's Lacy. Holly waiting for him, and Tamba Holly tackles Eddie Lacy, no gain. Big first half, John for Randall Cobb. Hook it up with Rodgers 4 times.
Well, he can kill you in the slot. He starts things off with a reverse. Gets a big first down. Little slot combination. He beats Tyrod Branch for a touchdown, and he does so much after the catch. Former quarterback, high school, little Wildcat action at Kentucky. Good player.
2nd and 10, and that pass is nearly intercepted by Josh Malga. The former Jet had it in his hands, and Aaron Rodgers almost saw that interception at home streak come to an end, or no interception.
Well, Kansas City, they dropped a lot of interceptions last year, and this would have been a big one here. Would have been a tough catch, but would have been a game-changing interception because he would have scored.
So the meter's still running. 474 regular season passes Rodgers has thrown here at Lambeau without being intercepted. Chiefs do rush 4. They get around Rodgers, who finds space. They do these scramble drills so well. Receivers stay alive for him, but that pass incomplete for Cobb as the rookie first-round pick Marcus Peters stayed with him.
But he solved so many problems before the snap. You see the dummy snap count. You never know when the ball is going to be snapped. He read where the blitz was coming from. He changed the protection, and he gave himself a chance. But you got to credit Kansas City. That's a huge stop. Let's see if DeAnthony Thomas can ignite the Chiefs with a return. He's been known to do that.
Maste kicks it away. 41 yards. Thomas with the flag down, avoids the first hit. And the second, but the former Michigan captain, Jake Ryan, brings him down at the 30-yard line. We had 10 penalties accepted in the first half, 5 each way. In case you were wondering, John, with all the penalties you've seen the first 3 weeks, it's the most penalties in the NFL in the first 3 weeks since the merger in 1970. Actual accepted penalties.
And it's the most instant replay challenges, I think, Mike.
There's been a big bump in the replay challenges last year to this.
During the kick, personal foul, face mask, kicking team number 24. 15 yards will be added from the end of the play. 1st and 10, timeout.
It's on Quentin Rollins. You know, people at home want to blame the officials, but the players also have been sloppy at the start of the season. To visit NFL.com/Hispanic Heritage to hear stories about Latino culture from around the league. September 15 through October 15, Hispanic Heritage Month around the country. Celebrating the heritage and culture of Hispanics and Latinos in the U.S. Both teams 3 and out to start this second half. Kansas City takes over at its own 45. And Smith is sacked by Jaron Elliott, who had a great close to the game against Seattle. Remember, in the fourth quarter, he had interception and then a forced fumble to seal the deal against the defending NFC champs.
Jaron Elliott. My goodness, he explodes off this left side, and you're going to see left guard Ben Grubbs pull on this power pass. He and Jamal Charles have no chance. There's another undrafted free agent out of Toledo, made his name on special teams. He's going to end up playing a lot more.
It sets up 2nd and 20. Smith sacked again. Mike Neal finishes him off along with Mike Daniels.
Mike Daniels called his name a lot tonight. The best inside pass rusher the Green Bay Packers have. Here he is working against Ben Grubbs, the ex-New Orleans Saint. Smith held the ball a long time, Mike. And the Chiefs' third down conversions have not been good this season. I'll bet if you put up a statistic, it would shock you.
Well, they're 0 for 5 tonight. They haven't converted a third down in 6 quarters. They're 3 of 25. And on 3rd and 27, Charles gets some yards, but they're now 3 of 26 for the season.
Disappointing. You get a stop from your defense, back-to-back sacks. Kansas City hasn't thrown for 40 yards tonight, Mike.
Yeah, after you throw in the sacks, the net passing yards for the Chiefs are 31. Cold quick kicks again. Hyde, who made the last tackle, will let this one go, and it will put on the left turn blinker and go out at 2. Well done by Dustin Colquitt. Part of a great kicking family. Of course, his brother kicks for Denver, and Dad Craig kicked on a couple of Steelers Super Bowl teams. Well, today was the day that the NBA teams met the media, getting started their preseason soon. These two guys are the reigning MVPs in their sport. Steph Curry, Aaron Rodgers. Anything else in common?
I love quick releases and accuracy. When you watch Steph Curry, I see the quickest release in the NBA. And man, is he accurate. He swishes these. Look at these. The quick release, and it's accurate. I mean, how do you get the ball out of your hand that quick and have it be that accurate? How about these quick releases and accuracy? Aaron Rodgers seems to quicken his release every year and become more accurate. A lot of quarterbacks I coached got a quicker release, but they became inaccurate.
Right.
These two guys, quick release is accurate. You like Curry?
I do.
I do too. That's a good analogy.
They're both champs.
You like that?
Both MVPs.
Great players. Quick and accurate.
Rodgers going to take over from the 2-yard line, and it'll be the run for Starks who will only gain 3 yards to the 5. Derek Johnson started, and Mike DeVito with the finish. That quick release, John, that we talk about with Aaron Rodgers helps him do so many of those things he does at the line of scrimmage, where he just gets the ball out and gets it to a receiver before the defense can get sorted out.
Well, he's a combination of rare quickness. The quick arm, he's also got a quick mind. You've seen that tonight. He sees everything, and he's got a quick body. I mean, he can get out of trouble. It's a combination of rare quickness and all these different types of quickness. Look at this quarterback.
Dancing in his own end zone, throwing, complete, and there goes Cobb.
Oh, boy.
To the 34-yard line. First down and again at 29, Randall Cobb.
Right on cue. Aaron Rodgers in his own end zone. Under pressure with some of the best pass rushers in the NFL. Continuous movement. His feet never stop. Wow. I think Randall Cobb is glad he re-signed. You can see why he took a pay cut to come back here, Mike. He'll go to the Hall of Fame if he stays healthy with this quarterback. Good night.
Stain.
Cobb 5 for 83 tonight. He closes in on a 100-yard evening. And a timeout taken here as the play clock was running down. 6 minutes gone by here in the third. No scoring in this quarter. Pack's still up 17. Beat Chicago by 8. Beat Seattle by 10. Packers on top. Watch Rodgers here, John.
Watch his feet. I mean, they continue to move, and when he launches this ball, you'll see both his feet are off the ground, Mike. I mean, he will not set his feet ever, and it's a concert of continuous movement, and he works hard at it.
Did you ever teach that as a quarterback, Coach?
Yeah.
Teach feet off the ground when you throw?
No, I didn't teach that, but
it's incredible. Just beat the clock there as they were trying to get organized. Starks tries to turn the corner, and Eric Berry follows him along with Jay Howard.
Take a look at Joe Montana, though. I mean, I was at San Francisco. I remember Mike Holmgren and Bill Walsh stressing continuous movement, and Joe's feet were active all the time. It allowed him to get the alternate receivers. It allowed him to buy time. And Aaron Rodgers plays the quarterback position below the belt, much like Joe Montana. It's that continuous movement. Mike McCarthy taught Joe Montana in San Francisco, learned it from Joe, and he's brought it here to Green Bay, and I bet Aaron Rodgers would attest to that.
2nd and 12. Chiefs bring 5. Flush Rodgers, and his pass is incomplete. Kansas City has been getting to Aaron a little bit more here in this second half, forcing the ball out early.
Well, they're moving Justin Houston around. Houston can rush on either side. He can rush over the guard. Bob Sutton has been very creative with his young superstar. He's got 3 sacks already this year, coming off a season in which he had 22. Just 1/2 a sack shy of Michael Strahan's all-time record. They need Houston to get one of those sack strip fumbles and turn this game around.
3rd and 12. And Rodgers coming to his left. It's caught by Jones with a flag down. Jones is taken down by Marcus Cooper and Jamel Fleming. Flags back by the quarterback. The result of the play is shy of a first down. So if it's a hold on Green Bay, they'll decline it. And bring us 4th down.
Personal foul, face mask. Offense number 67. 15-yard penalty, 3rd down.
We get Don Barclay, the tackle.
And I like what Andy Reid did there. Take the penalty, move them back, way back, and perhaps create some field position for your offense. You see Barclay at the top of the screen, clearly face masking. That's what Houston does. They've declined this penalty, Mike. Houston forces penalties, he bats passes, he causes a lot of problems. That's what the great ones do.
Enjoyed our visit with Justin, who is defensive coordinator Bob Sutton told us has become the undisputed leader of this defense. He's still will allow Eric Berry to be, out of respect, the veteran voice and the leader. But a lot of what happens here on defense revolves around Houston. Timeout taken by the Packers before the punt. Mike McCarthy was the one out there. He gave the attention to the officials. A little sloppy here in this third quarter. And Green Bay is now down to 1.
Mike McCarthy, different role now that he's not calling plays. And he wants this team to emulate his personality. And he wants to run the ball, stop the run, cover kicks, block field goals. He wants to put it on tape every week. And the turnover ratio, that football emphasized under Mike McCarthy, they just do not turn it over and beat themselves. And you got to credit Mike McCarthy because it all starts at the top.
But when he gave up the play call, it's not as though he kicks back and relaxes now. He is more involved in the defensive meetings with Dom Capers' side, in the special teams meetings with new coordinator Ron Zook. And it feels like on game day he can contribute more in those facets of the game where he didn't feel as comfortable doing that before. From the 12, here goes DeAnthony Thomas, and in a shocking development on a punt, the flag is down.
I'll add to the record.
You called plays in the NFL as a head coach. Is it a challenge to be involved in those other phases of the game as much because you're calling plays and involved all week with the offense?
Oh, it's a huge challenge.
During the return, holding, number 27 return team. 10-yard penalty, 1st and 10.
You're doing quarterback tip sheets, you're installing plays, you're working on blitz packages, your short yardage, red zone, goal line, 2 minute. You got to rally your offensive line, pick up stunts. And Andy Reid is still calling the plays. And I admire that a lot. A lot of these guys get head coaching jobs because of their expertise on offense or defense. And I love to see a guy get a job and stay with calling the plays. And let's see if Andy Reid can find something that works in this difficult situation on the road.
Penalty backs up the Chiefs to their own 7-yard line about halfway through this third quarter. B.J. Raji moves. Ben Grubbs tries to say he moved. Raji's trying to say that the center, Mitch Morse, moved the football. That's why he moved. Everybody points at each other.
Encroachment, defense, number 90. 5-yard penalty, 1st down.
After we are done here in Green Bay, our pal Mr. Van Pelt standing by Sports Center with Scott Van Pelt. You'll have the post-game wrap-up. Steve Levy here with Trent Dilfer, Ray Lewis, and Steve Young. And Scott will have the one big thing. Steve Levy will make a valiant attempt to make the Lambeau leap, it says here. I might use another word to replace valiant. In any case, you'll see it tonight on Sports Center at night after the game. Flag makes it 1st and 5, and Macklin scooped by Matthews, but incomplete. Macklin finally gets a ball in his hands. He can't hang on. It almost ended up being an interception.
Very disappointing night for Macklin. Andy Reid targets the veteran from Missouri against the rookie, Demetrius Randall. He's wide open. Jeremy Macklin needs to get involved in this Chiefs offense somehow. Quick.
2nd and 5. Back to the air. It's the fullback, Anthony Sherman. Matthews ties him up. Gain of 2. And the flag down once again.
Shot block, perhaps.
Personal foul, offense, leg whip, number 79. Half the distance, replay, 2nd down.
That's the left tackle, Donald Stevenson.
Stevenson against Peppers. That's easy to see, and that's a dangerous act. Look out there at Peppers, Mike. How would you like to see his factor grade? All the negative plays that he has caused, and still going strong. Over 100 sacks, double-digit interceptions. How many penalties has he forced? Batted passes. He's something else.
That's right, all those stats. You never have the one of the flags he caused. That'd be great. Maybe that QBR for defensive ends, pass rushers. Second and 11 out of his own end zone. Smith in trouble, avoids the safety, and throws an interception. Sam Shields. Flag down as Shields steps out of bounds at the 4. Looked like one of the Packers who was trying to pass rush was held, and it'll stay Green Bay ball here.
Kansas City's offensive line.
Offense, number 66. Penalties decline. First down.
Has a long way to go. They're going to call it on left guard, Ben Grubbs. Sam Shields with the interception. And I thought they had Wilson coming open on this scramble drill play. Alex just underthrew it. Sacks, penalties, poorly blocked plays, and assignment errors have doomed the Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, Matthews, that hit on Alex Smith could have been whistled late. Interception by Shields gives him 16 on his career. Had 2 last year. First and goal from the 4. Rodgers has Lacey with him. He'll throw to the outside. Cobb is in again. Another Packer touchdown.
How many times will Green Bay run that play from a 3-receiver set? They were penalized on this play in the first half. But this time Rodgers gets the ball out so fast, there's no doubt. 2 lead blockers. And a quick throw in the flat. And you got to give James Jones credit. You see these Packer receivers block, and you see these Chief receivers block, and you say Green Bay's a better blocking team on the perimeter, and it shows on plays like that.
Second one of the night for Cobb. Extra point, Mason Crosby. 31-7. Aaron Rodgers, another 4-touchdown night. Cobb breaks the plane again. 31-7. You used the term run game solutions. That was an example of how Aaron Rodgers finds things within the run game to throw touchdowns.
They got a running play called, and the 3 receivers are standing over here. And if the box is loaded, these 3 receivers are running this combination. 2 lead blockers, and there's Cobb in the flat. So if the running play doesn't look good to Rodgers, he has a solution. I'll just throw it out there, and our receivers are blocked, we'll score a touchdown. He does it a lot. A lot of their big plays in the passing game and touchdowns are running plays where they have a built-in answer if you don't get a good look.
Become the story of football so often now. Not a clean catch of Niall Davis, so it will be a touchback.
Take a look at it. It's a one-back running play with a built-in solution. There's the solution. Eddie Lacy thinks he's getting the ball, and Randall Cobb and his 2 teammates say, well, if you need us, we're there for you. But it's a running play all the way. And Aaron Rodgers will not waste time running his great back into a loaded box when he has 3 receivers that are running a solution to his problems. It's a beautiful thing. And Aaron Rodgers is like a, I don't know, he's a coach's dream because he's a great player. He's so prepared, and he never misses anything.
And the giveaway on that is you see after the play, those offensive linemen are run blocking. They're not stepping back to pass block. So it's the quarterback making the call. There's Smith, Jamal Charles, gain of 4 out of the backfield. It's completion number 6 on the night for Alex Smith. 6 of 14. One of the 14, that interception thrown earlier.
And down 31-7. All Andy Reid can do is get a couple completions, make a few first downs, get some confidence in this offense. Right tackle Eric Fisher, it's his first game back. They have a couple other linemen in the bullpen that are almost well. But they just have to get some confidence because they have been manhandled tonight.
Here comes the blitz. It's picked up. The pass is Kelsey. Barely getting it away from Casey Hayward and getting to the 30. That's the first down. You saw that graphic that was up there a moment ago. Green Bay's defense only had 1 3-and-out in the first 2 games of the season, those 18 drives, but have since turned that around here tonight. 7 of the 9 drives Kansas City's had.
This Dom Capers has coached forever, Mike. He's the longest tenured defensive coordinator in football, I think, in terms of being with the same team. Since 2009, Dom Capers has used a lot of different personnel and different schemes.
Clay Matthews blitzing in the middle, picked up by the center, deep shot downfield, incomplete for Albert Wilson, the free agent out of Georgia State in his 2nd year. Demarius Randall, the rookie, covering.
See what Andy Reid's trying to do. He's trying to get some shot plays at the rookie corner. Jeremy Maclin dropped one on the previous possession. That time it's Albert Wilson on a straight go ball. Nice job by Randall flipping his head, but I'd like to see number 12, Albert Wilson, lay out for that ball.
It's a good job by Randall. He may be a rookie, but he's got that little quick arm bar down. 2nd and 10. And Charles underneath him at the first down. To the 43-yard line goes Jamal Charles. So good throughout his career, John, out of the backfield. Over 270 receptions. And featured a lot in the pass game along with Kelsey.
And he can line up anywhere on the football field. But look at this Packer defense. Dayton Jones, former 1st-round pick. Inside. Pass rush presence. They have a lot of depth in this front 7.
That gain of 13 got the Chiefs over 100 yards for the night. Charles gets that lofted ball, takes it to the 49-yard line. So we dive under 5 minutes here in the 3rd. Kansas City has no easy pickings next week. They've got the short turnaround back on the road to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals.
Got to be mentally tough in this league. There's no easy pickings on your schedule.
Tarkandrick West has checked in. 2nd-year man out of Abilene Christian in the backfield. And Kelsey has blocking downfield. And it takes Travis Kelsey to the 31-yard line.
This is the most famous route in football, Mike. I think I've drawn it 27 times. It's a block, and throw the ball in the flat. You're not seeing passes thrown like we used to see in years past, but can't argue with success. A 1-yard flat route with 2 lead blockers and a gain of 15. Why not?
Smith lost the ball. Peppers almost recovered it, but he got kicked to Fisher, and Eric Fisher comes away with the recovery. Mike Daniels was the one who put the pressure on and knocked it out of Alex's hands.
I'd like to be Mike Daniels' agent. What a performance he has had tonight. He's a free agent at the end of the year, and Daniels has dominated for Green Bay.
A good interior pass rush. Laurent Duvernay-Tardif, the 2nd-year man from Montreal, went to McGill University. Was the man beaten there? Duvernay-Tardif is pursuing his medical degree. Matter of fact, during OTAs, he was back up in Montreal. He's only 4 months away from having his medical degree at university in Canada. 4-man rush, the flush of the Nick Perry rush sends Smith back. Flagged down as he gets close to the line of scrimmage. Flagged down back by where Smith took off from.
This is a total mismatch tonight. B.J. Raji held.
Holding. Offense. Number 76. 10-yard penalty. Replay. 2nd down.
Take a look at Clay Matthews as well here. Number 52. Unbelievable player.
What Matthews say when he walked in the room? We met with him on Saturday. And you said, hey, now you're playing inside. What happened to that outside pass rusher? He looked at us and said, what don't they have me doing around here? Showing up inside, kicks outside to the edge, as you saw earlier tonight.
I have not seen a player do this in a long time.
Now dropping back to coverage, 3rd and 17. The blitz pressure picked up. And Smith has a crosser. Macklin to the 6-yard line. The receiver getting close to the end zone for Kansas City.
That's a bad blitz by Green Bay. Peppers and Randall blitz the same gap. Peppers and Randall run into each other. Otherwise, Randall's going to be clean. Good pickup by Kansas City. And finally, Jeremy Macklin arrives in Lambeau.
32 on that reception. The longest of the first 3 games for Macklin. From the 7, little zone read gives to Charles, who gains 2 to the 5.
Let's see if Kansas City can throw a touchdown pass to one of these receivers. I keep hearing a rumor that they haven't had a lot of success doing that, Mike.
A rumor? Yes. You can call it that. Longest streak of any team since 1970. None last year. None in the first 2 games. If you knew that, and Andy Reid knows, all the Chiefs know it, would you down here try to call something that would be a throw to the receiver just to get rid of that thing?
I might go 5 wides, but you can see why they have that stat. Kelsey is lined up at the top of the screen. He's a tight end playing wide out.
Here he comes in motion to a bunch up there at the left side. Macklin! John, it's over. It's all over.
Wow, does Macklin get something for that? Beautiful play called by Andy Reid. He motions to a bunch set. 3 receivers go different directions, and there's confusion in the Packers secondary. That's what Kansas City needed. Get something going on offense, regain your confidence. Let's see what happens in the 4th quarter.
For the first time last season and the first couple of this, the Chiefs have a wide receiver catch a touchdown. Interesting here, it's late in the 3rd quarter. If you do go for 2 and make it, it would make it a 16-point or 2-possession game. They'll go conventional and Santos to kick. 31-14 with 56 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. And we're talking about Andy Reid, and we mentioned in Monday Night Countdown, he was here in Green Bay as an assistant when you were here, John. Mike McCarthy was in Kansas City. These 2 guys, matter of fact, once Reid leaves in '99 to become the head coach in Philadelphia, McCarthy leaves Kansas City and comes here to Green Bay to be the tight ends coach. Reid's old job. That's a great picture, by the way, of Mike McCarthy.
Yes, it is.
Shout out, Mike.
I remember we played Mike McCarthy at the Kansas City Chiefs, me and Coach Reid, when we were Packers. Right. And Mike McCarthy, if I want to say, it was up in the press box stealing our signals, Mike.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, Mike
Monday
McCarthy, he's always had the best of me. Those are 2 great coaches.
Now, you knew Mike back at University of Pittsburgh back in the day,
I was
right?
a receiver coach. Mike was a graduate coach. Paul Hackett was the head coach. Right. And, of course, Andy and I worked together. But you won't find many people like these 2 in terms of work ethic and hiring and developing coaches and players. They spend a lot of time giving back to their organization and their teammates. They're special.
Andy Reid, of course, the great run in Philadelphia gave them to a Super Bowl. All the NFC championship games that they made during that run. 5 NFC championship games, 6 division titles, 3 times the coach of the year. And no return on this kick. John, you asked for that game. We delivered.
Oh, man, 1993.
Who's this young guy? Not that guy, young guy. That young guy.
Look at my signals down there to Brett Favre and that doggone Mike McCarthy.
Now, Montana didn't play.
Look at McCarthy right there, stealing my signals. And Derek Thomas. Boy, that doggone McCarthy. He had that mustache because he was in disguise, Mike.
5 farm turnovers.
Signals. Derek Thomas was unbelievable.
Yeah, the late, great Hall of Fame linebacker Derek Thomas knocked that. That was Dan Saliamua, a great run plugger up front who scooped and scored that last and only other time that these teams played on Monday night, November 8, 1993. as a Packer team that went 9-7, won the wild card game in Detroit, and then lost at Dallas in the divisional playoffs. Eddie Lacy takes it to the 29-yard line. Final minute here of the third.
Eddie Lacy is a physical presence. 240 pounds, and arm tackles aren't going to get it done, Mike. Great ball security, I'm sure. It's been emphasized so much. You watch these Packers come out on the practice field, there's a 10-minute ball security period for the offensive players, and there's a 10-minute get-it-back period for the defensive players every day, sometimes twice a day.
Lacy 8 carries, 43 yards, coming back off the ankle injury. Rodgers dances, finds Lacy out of the backfield to the 38-yard line. It'll be a first down for Green Bay when the fourth quarter begins. Each team puts 7 on the board in the third. It's the Pack by 17 in Green Bay.
ESPN, celebrating the legacy of Super Bowl I.
Along with the New England Patriots, Green Bay Packers. Only 2 teams in the league have been to the playoffs the last 6 years. Packers won the division title last 4, leading 31-17. On their way to a 3-0 start if they can close it out. Fourth quarter begins as Lacy goes left and Jay Howard is there again, John.
You know, these Packers, they have 2 fullbacks. A lot of teams we've seen don't have any fullbacks. But here goes John Kuhn out of the game, number 30. You see Aaron Ripkowski, number 22, the former Oklahoma Sooner. These 2 fullbacks play special teams. They are lead backs. They can both catch. And Mike McCarthy has always loved having fullbacks on his football team. And they're a dying breed in this league.
Kuhn has been used in many ways over his 10 years here. Folk hero in many regards amongst Packer fans. James Starks runs left. There's Malga making the stop at the 40. You know, you look at Alex Smith and you think here over the years as he finally had success in San Francisco once Jim Harbaugh was there, and then he gets the concussion, replaced by Colin Kaepernick, doesn't get his starting job back, and is traded here. And you pointed out how Andy Reid got someplace and said, let me figure out the best way to acquire a quarterback, because we're not going to do anything without one. And they turned from a couple of wins one year to a playoff team the very next year.
This quarterback position for Kansas City has been very confusing to me in the history of the franchise, at least recently.
Ford drawn offside, another Rodgers free play, and it's Jones again on the free play. Inside the 20, James Jones to the 9-yard line. Nice little 5-yard penalty turns into a 50-yard gain.
How about the throw?
Offside defense number 55. Penalties declined. Result of the play, first down.
It's a hard count. It's clearly offsides, and it's a free play. The Packers show a lot of poise again, but how about the throw? Back shoulder throw. And Tyvon Branch can't wait to get out of Wisconsin.
Officially 52 for Jones. Rodgers over 300 yards. Jones over 100. First and goal. Rodgers.
Incomplete. This is pre-snap. We talked about it in the pregame. Get in some open formations and see if the coverage reveals itself to Aaron Rodgers. And when it does, he's going to pick out his favorite matchup. And if it's 27 and one-on-one coverage, he's going to go to something. Cobb had him again.
Aaron Rodgers has thrown 5 touchdowns in a regular season game 3 times. Turning, give Lacy. Hurdling the would-be tackler and take it to the 4-yard line.
Watch Aaron Rodgers on this third down, Mike. He's going to open this formation up and he's going to look at the Chiefs. And if it's man-to-man coverage, he's going to find his best matchup and go to work. It's an outside stretch play, and how about that athleticism? No running backs. Here's that 4 wide receiver, 1 tight end package that they love.
Jeff Janis is the extra receiver. Rodgers. Again. It's a 5-touchdown night for the MVP.
That same play they scored on earlier from the 3-receiver set. That time it's run from the 2-receiver set. Aaron Rodgers uses a dummy snap count. You'll see it on the replay. He sees exactly what he needs to see. The coverage revealed itself to him. There's a signal they'll be changing next week. Janis blocks. Cobb catches. And Aaron Rodgers' QB rating is unbelievable in Lambeau, Mike.
Cobb catches his 3rd touchdown of the night. Extra point added by Mason Crosby one more time. Quite a night. Aaron Rodgers, 5 touchdowns, no picks, 315 yards. The top of his game. ESPN's Monday Night Football brought to you by Nissan. Innovation that excites. Gillette, 1 Pro Glide refill up to 1 month of comfortable shaves. And NFLShop.com, find the largest selection of NFL products at the official store of the NFL. All's quiet outside. Green Bay shuts down when the Pack is in action. The fans here during the last time out. 4th quarter tradition, sing Roll Out the Barrel. And enjoy another Packer win here at home. First 3-touchdown game for Randall Cobb in his Packer career. (38-14). Anthony Thomas going to take it from 8 deep and only get 10 into the field. Aaron Elliott made those big plays at the end of the game last week. There are the numbers that have either won or lost you your fantasy game for a bunch of you watching tonight.
Look at Tom Clements. Offensive coordinator in his 3rd game calling plays. He called him in Buffalo a few years ago. He's probably enjoying this experience a little bit more.
So often you go over, you see the pictures on the sideline of the quarterback and the play caller looking at the last drive. As that pass is caught by Jason Avant, his first catch of the year at 34 for the Chiefs last year. But it's rare that you go to the sidelines during a game and you see the quarterback and the play caller looking at the pictures from that last drive and smiling. They can't take the smile off either guy's face.
I don't know what that's like. I never had quite that much fun calling plays, but
they're all good.
San Francisco 49ers are looking at this thinking, oh boy.
That's who the Packers play next. It'll be in Santa Clara as Smith is taken down. Julius Peppers, along with Mike Daniels, has had a very good game for Green Bay.
Boy, he's had an unbelievable game. He's beat both guards, jets up the field, and Julius Peppers also in pursuit.
Smith pass low and incomplete as Chris Conley tried to get it. But the flag comes down. The rookie from Georgia, Chris Conley, intended receiver with Demarius Randall, fellow rookie, in coverage.
Conley's interesting. He can run. His combine measurables off the charts.
Pass, holding, defense, number 23. 5-yard penalty, automatic 1st down.
Chiefs need a deep component in this pass offense. It's been a long time. I think it's been since Derek Alexander, since Kansas City has had a reliable, deep receiver. They need some explosive plays. It just seems like they have to do it the hard way every series, Mike. They have a long way to go. They've got to convert on third down, and that's been almost impossible this year.
First down for Smith, chased by Matthews. We'll just go down to 25. Ooh, that hit was nasty. Packer on Packer there. As Dayton Jones took the worst of Joe Thomas's hit. As the quarterback Smith slid down, and the athletic training staff will come out to check the former first-round pick of the Pack. Kind of with that shoulder up in the head area, so we'll take a look at Jones. Seattle was here. Next week we'll be in Seattle. We'll watch Russell Wilson and the NFC champion Seahawks take on Matthew Stafford and the Lions. Detroit at 0-3 after the home loss to Denver on Sunday Night Football. So we'll see the Lions, Megatron, and Stafford take on the Legion of Boom Monday night. All 12s will be waiting for us. And that's what the Seahawks record is for the moment. 1-2. As Smith pass, Macklin bobbles, catches. There goes Macklin on the run, chased by Shields, and brought down to the 15-yard line. Wow. That's a big gain of 60 yards from Smith to Macklin.
Should score. I think Macklin double catching this costs him. And what a supreme effort by Sam Shields. The ex-Hurricane in hot pursuit.
Officially that is 61 yards for Macklin. Gets him to 97 on the night. Kelsey slipped out of the break. That pass was incomplete. We came right out of the break telling you about next week's game, and then the big play to Macklin. They want to go past Dayton Jones, who stayed down for a few seconds after being injured, but got up, walked off under his own power with no assistance from the athletic training staff. So that was very good for the Packers to see Jones come off on his own. Second and 10. Macklin takes a shot, and a flag comes down. Clinton Dix with the hit. Things to watch for is the hit to the head, neck, or shoulder area.
Personal foul, defense. Hit on a defenseless receiver. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Defenseless, did he have a chance to protect himself after the catch?
Over that head. It's going to be called.
See there, Clinton Dix will say that he did not hit with his head, did not hit up by the forearm there, and tried to go as low as possible. The bang-bang play and in slow motion. Where does he get hit, but also the chance to protect yourself, thus it's called. And Jamal Charles will go in for the Kansas City touchdown.
Give Kansas City credit. Offensively, that's back-to-back drives. They show some fight, and I'm sure they're going to get some confidence. The draw play against an all-out blitz. Missed tackle by Thomas, number 48. And Kansas City's going for 2.
Now they'll go to try to make it a 2-possession or a 16-point game. Packers are being given time to substitute. And Smith will throw for the 2 to Kelsey. 16-point game, just under 10 minutes left.
Very creative shift. Motion Charles out of the backfield. Slot combination. Kelsey wins, and now you got to be ready for the onside kick if you're Green Bay.
Since it's a scoring play, they look at that one, make sure he got down and held it all the way through as he went to the ground, and he did. So 38-22 is our new score for Jamal Charles, his second touchdown run on the evening. Chiefs still alive, just under 10.
First selection in the 2005 NFL Draft, the San Francisco 49ers select Alex Smith, Ronnie Brown, Braylon Edwards, Roy Williams, Mike Williams, Alex Barron, Jones. The Green Bay Packers select Aaron Rodgers, quarterback from California.
There you go. It was that wait, then the 3-hour wait, or 3-year wait, I should say, for Brett Favre to depart and Rodgers to get the starting job. We detailed Alex Smith's story in San Francisco. Rodgers certainly has had the better of it, the Pro Bowls, the 2 MVPs. It's not as though Smith has had a bad career. As the teams around him improved, his play has improved. But you know, yeah, the weight, and another 4-letter word, the chip on Rodgers' shoulder, and another 4-letter word, the fuel that has helped drive Aaron Rodgers for these many years. He's still churning inside over the teams that didn't select him and his opportunity to prove to everyone he should have been taken at the top of that draft, if not higher. Onside kick potential here, so the Packers have 10 players within 20 yards, and their deep man's back at the 18-yard line. And Santos will just kick it deep. And Sid Montgomery going backwards at the 1 and back into the end zone. And because the catch and the momentum takes him back, the Chiefs are asking for a safety. And here's John Parry to explain.
Ruling on the field is momentum, touchback, 1st and 10, 20-yard line.
Yeah, as we said when we called it, the momentum takes him back in. That's why it's not a safety, and the Chiefs get the ball. So it's a very big play there, and a good call by John Parry right away. Well, John, we talked about that draft in 2005. You were coaching the Buccaneers. You were one of the guys who Aaron Rodgers has a chip. Maybe not you, with the front office, who didn't select him. But you went and worked him out.
I brought Jerry Rice with me. I brought Jerry Rice, and I said, hey, Aaron, you tell Rice what routes to run. I wanted to put some pressure on Aaron Rodgers, see how he reacted. I took Cadillac Williams. He was the Rookie of the Year, but just think what would have happened or what could have happened if you had this Aaron Rodgers. No disrespect to Cadillac, but that was quite a day. We went out there, and Jerry Rice walked down the steps, and Aaron Rodgers said, who's that guy walking down the steps? I said, that's the receiver you're going to throw to today. He grabbed me and he says, holy cow, that's Jerry Rice. Right. I go, yeah, tell him what routes to run. Kid can throw the ball. He's a great person. He's unbelievable in terms of his preparation, and it's just shocking the way he throws the ball. It really is. Look at that throw.
Well, that ball pulled out from the from the receiver Janis, but ruled that he was down already. A flag came down on that 2nd and 11. Janis played 3 games last year, now in his 2nd year.
Illegal shift. Offense number 83 was not set prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Replay, 2nd down.
And he's the one flagged. Remember, Davante Adams was out in the first quarter. Very first drive, he injured his left ankle. So Janis bumps up to a receiver. And now here, John, Kansas City has 2nd and long. They're down 16. It's a 2-score game with 9:17 left. And their faint hopes of hanging in this one are still around.
Houston, Holly. Get a pass rush.
Out of his hands quick. And Aaron Rodgers finds Richard Rodgers. Same surname, same alma mater.
I like Rodgers. 2nd-year players show the most improvement. Look in the huddle, you see Lindsley. Much improved. Rodgers, much improved. Reps, they add up. Revealing formation. Rodgers at the bottom of the screen. Here's his zone coverage.
3rd and 9. Here comes the pressure. Rodgers saw where it was coming from and gets it to James Jones for the first down at the 31-yard line.
Well, it's a zone coverage. That doesn't mean it can't be a zone blitz. You're going to see the blitz come off the right side. It's going to be free, but Aaron Rodgers with that quick release beats the blitz with the throw. He sees everything and knows exactly where that hot receiver is. How about James Jones and his savvy inside the slot and outside as the wide receiver, Mike?
Targeted 8 times, caught him 7. And that is the final timeout taken by Green Bay. 7:34 left. The only thing that brings up is in case Green Bay does want to challenge a play in the next 5.5, they can't. They don't have any timeouts left.
Watch these quick releases, Mike. Let's see if we can put a clock on it and see how quick the ball comes out of his hand. 0.03. Good luck with your pass rush. You're not going to get there. 0.038, 0.35. You know, the feet of Joe Montana. I mean, when you think of quick releases, I always think of Dan Marino. But that's who you're comparing Aaron Rodgers to, some of the all-time greats. And the continuity that he's had with Mike McCarthy in his 10th year here. And Tom Clements has been here for 9 years. He had a chance to watch Brett Favre for 3 years. And you said it. He has a chip on his shoulder, and he wants to score again and again and again. You're a Packer fan. Count your blessings.
To go from Favre to Rodgers, we talked about that with Indy last week. You go from Manning to Luck. Franchise quarterbacks. Handoff Starks to the right. James Starks will gain maybe 2 yards as Justin Houston is in there on the tackle one more time.
Kansas City's only chance now is to load the box. It's a predictable running situation. You see Dontari Poe, number 92. He had back surgery right before training camp. Poe played almost 900 snaps last year at a nose tackle position. They need somebody in this front. They've got 3 Pro Bowlers to make a memorable play.
Hey. Flip, 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 flip.
Run this play to the other side, and here goes Alonzo Harris. And the rookie out of Louisiana, Lafayette, is stopped. Poe over there. John mentioned the 911 snaps that Poe played. It was the most snaps for a D tackle last year. Such a big part of it. And with his absence because of that disc surgery he had in July, it allowed Jay Howard and Alan Bailey to come along, Mike DeVito back. And they've got the people in the front 7. The question is the secondary without Sean Smith serving the final game of a 3-game suspension. When he gets back, will they get better on the back end and improve the defense? On 3rd and 7, Rodgers searching. And that is incomplete. Through the traffic, tried to get it to Richard Rodgers. Hussein Abdullah in coverage. And just under 6 minutes, Chiefs will get it back.
Almost stuck that in there. Rodgers reaches out with his left hand, and some thought Abdullah interfered with Rodgers. But Kansas City still has life.
Tim Mastey's 4th punt. DeAnthony Thomas awaits, standing back at his own 20. Not a great kick. Favorable bounce, slowed it up, and Jeff Janis, the receiver who plays the gunner on the right side, cleaned up that 47-yard punt with a solid tackle. Learned that position, made himself a part of this team. Special teams coach Ron Zook, first one there to say, well done. Well, those key baseball games, the Yankees and the Red Sox on Tuesday night, followed by the Angels and the A's this final week of the Major League Baseball season. And the battle for the American League wild card continuing. You'll see it tomorrow night here on ESPN. Yankees lost to Boston tonight by the final score of 5-1 at the stadium. Smith flushed. Kelsey on the move, middle of the field. First down, Travis Kelsey across the 30 at the 31.
Very good movement in the pocket by Alex Smith, and he's going to push the tempo now. Their only chance is to get a quick score and a 2-point conversion. Got to get some help somewhere on Mike Daniels. He hasn't been blocked yet.
Fourth-year man out of Iowa has been terrific for the Packers up front. Smith wanted to go to Kelsey. Didn't. There was blocking going on with Avant, and the pass thrown away.
Hard to throw the quick game when Mike Daniels bull rushes your guard right into your lap. Former 6th-round pick Laurent Duvernay-Tardif has had his hands full tonight with Daniels.
Just call him Doc.
I'm trying to get that pronunciation to just roll right off my tongue, Mike.
Get you for the World Cup of Hockey. Duvernay-Tardif. The 31, 2nd and 10. Some throwing lanes for Alex Smith. In the middle, it is hauled in at the 47-yard line. Chris Conley out of Georgia on the board. First time in the NFL with a reception.
That's good pass protection. And Alex Smith has found his rhythm in these last 3 drives.
4:40 to go. Sideline, Macklin with the catch. And that will have Macklin over 100 receiving yards.
It's good. I mean, there's a lot of good things that this offense has done in these last few possessions.
Does that ever mean anything? Getting a good rhythm offensively?
No doubt. This is like late preseason. I mean, O'Shaughnessy's a rookie. Fisher's playing his first game at right tackle. Macklin is a free agent acquisition, and Conley's a rookie. They need time together.
And the 42, Clay Matthews now rushing right in there at Smith. He just gets rid of it. Incomplete. Jamal Charles was in that scrum of players. But that's what we're talking about with Matthews. Inside linebacker all night. Go rush the passer if you don't mind. Mess up a play.
Does he ever get tired? Number 52, right side of your screen. It's a screen pass. Tip your hat to great performances. And that's all Kansas City can say about it. 2nd down and 10. See if Don Capers dials up a blitz.
Rushing 4, rushing Matthews. 1-man blitz. So excited to get back in the form that made him a star player. Pass rusher.
He's had 5 Pro Bowls. He's one of the great Green Bay Packer defenders. When you look at Green Bay Packer players on defense that have been selected to 5 Pro Bowls, Clay Matthews is in some elite company.
3rd and 18. Screen. Never got there. 4th down coming up. See what the Chiefs do. John, this is what you were talking about. Clay Matthews, 5 Pro Bowls. Defensive players who've done that in the Packers history.
Wow. I mean, look at the tradition of the Green Bay Packers. How about being there with Willie Wood, the Minister of Defense? How about Herb Adderley and Willie Davis? I told you I was elite company. That's quite an accomplishment, and he's just getting started. Got to protect here and let some deep routes develop.
Play clock running down. Peppers and Matthews standing next to each other on the right for the defense. Smith throwing, middle, caught, and he was touched by contact with the ball right at the 1st down mark. Very interesting spot. And remember, Green Bay cannot challenge this spot if they wanted to because they're out of timeouts, and the yardage is sufficient for a 1st down. Wow. See, we get a whistle here. Hang on, what happened?
Shields is hurt.
Of Sam Shields. They recognized that Shields was hurt, and one of the officials, I believe one of the officials spotted it. They were able to let Andy Reid know that, or Andy Reid know that's why they stopped the clock and get him out. So 4th and 17, they pick up just 17 yards with Macklin at a very close spot, able to keep this drive alive. Fans are booing as they look at the screen, and they show that. What a hit. Wow. The pass is incomplete. Charkandrick West to Marius Randall with the hit.
Marius Randall. Look at his spot, Mike.
See where he is down. Is he touched by contact by Shields there at the 33, which it appears that he was. And again, as I pointed out when they took the last time out in the half, there's contact somewhere in there. It would have been a yard shy. It would have been Green Bay ball and game over. Packers offside. Free play, Alex Smith. He'll roll it and throw it, and it's picked off. That doesn't matter, as Casey Hayward has the INT. But as we said, free play.
Offside. Defense. Number 56. 5-yard penalty. 2nd down.
You know, the great teams, Mike, have fourth quarter pass rushes. And Julius Peppers, Matthews, you look out in that huddle, Mike Neal. These are the situations that you live for. You have the lead. You have the offense in a predictable passing situation. Conditioning is a big part of this. Peppers, Matthews, Neal, and 53 Nick Perry. 4 defensive ends.
Wow.
Got to close out Kansas City.
Sam Shields, as you see, 37, bottom of the screen, back in the game. 2nd and 5. Smith, chased by Matthews, gets to Macklin. Minimal gain, but out of bounds to stop the clock at 3:09.
Have seen 4-man rushes throughout the last 12 to 15 plays that Andy Reid has called. Dom Capers defending the clock. Try to keep the Chiefs in bounds. And on 3rd down is short. Kelsey, number 87, been a primary target for the Chiefs.
Macklin comes to the bottom there, number 19. He has 7 for 133 yards after being shut out in the first half. 3rd and 2, and Smith's throw is incomplete. Trying to get it to Jason Avant for the first down, so it will be 4th down. This time 2 to gain.
Good coverage down the field. Quentin Rollins, number 24. What a story he is. Former basketball player for the Miami, Ohio Redbirds. Decides to go out for football. His last year has 7 interceptions, and here he is, 2nd-round draft choice of the Packers in the slot.
Basketball point guard, 2nd in school history in steals. Smith, slant, Avant with the catch. Right in front of the man we're just talking about, Rollins, and a first down at the 20-yard line, 2:57 to go. Chiefs will try to sneak this score in before the 2, and they have all 3 timeouts. Picked up a couple of 4th down conversions on this drive. And Smith throwing again complete, out of bounds Macklin.
Alex Smith has been accurate down the stretch here. Some tight window throws. Macklin is out of gas. I don't know if Andy Reid has any other receivers. Here comes DeAnthony Thomas.
Here we go. John targeted twice, didn't make a catch. 8 here in this second half for 141. And that first wide receiver score since the 2013 season. Andy Reid going to take a timeout here. You can see Andy's frustration. That's Macklin coming out there. You're out of bounds. The clock is stopped. Those timeouts are gold in trying to make a comeback.
Well, when you're a receiver and you get tired, you have to try to give your receiver coach some warning that I need a blow. And that time Macklin, you can see why he's exhausted. But he didn't give anybody any warning, and Kansas City couldn't get the substitution done properly. Still 2 timeouts left and the 2-minute clock stoppage.
Everybody, John, has that stretch of the schedule that it's just, it seems like everybody does. That's, oh man, how do we get through these 3 games? Can we get a win anywhere? Well, Denver, Green Bay, Cincinnati, that stretch here for Kansas City. The loss to Denver. Have to be a miraculous comeback here. And then to the undefeated Bengals next week. Perry with the pressure, knocked it out of Smith's hands. It is recovered by Stevenson of the Chiefs at the 20-yard line, but the clock continues to move.
Just so much depth and so much speed on the field. When they put 4 defensive ends out there together, hard to block them.
And that depth speaks to what you said before about the need for a 4th quarter pass rush to close games.
A lot of games are going to come down to this right here for Green Bay. Can they close them out?
Approaching the 2-minute warning. Smith underneath. It is DeAnthony Thomas. And stay in bounds as we hit the 2. And it'll be first down for Kansas City on the other side. The Chiefs staying in this one. 38-22. And 2-minute warning.
Very much alive here at the 2-minute warning at Lambeau Field. Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Levy. I'll be joined by Trent Dilfer, Steve Young, and Ray Lewis. The GMC postgame report is coming up next. Scott Van Pelt one-on-one with Notre Dame head football coach Brian Kelly. And you'll hear from LeBron James on the upcoming season. All straight ahead on SportsCenter immediately following the game. And Mike, no one's jumping over anything from down here.
Okay, good. Just wanted to see if that was going to happen, Leaves. Thank you, Steve. Brian Kelly, Notre Dame, play Clemson, the big game college football this weekend, one of them. See it Saturday night on ABC. Game day be down at Clemson. $1:59 left. Chiefs need a quick score. Smith, Thomas, inbounds. Clock runs. Casey Hayward, the tackle.
Not often you get into the 2-minute drill for this many plays. This might be the longest 2-minute drill we've seen ever.
This is play 17 of the drive. That's why everybody's exhausted. And a ton of time running here. You need 2 scores. They're going to run with Charles. Bounces it and scores for the 3rd time tonight.
They ran a trap play. Great call by Andy Reid. He saw those defensive tackles wide. And you're going to see a trap play. Watch the inside give to Jamal Charles. Well done. And they're going for 2.
Yep. Try to get it down to 8 points in a 1-possession game and recover an onside kick. They do have 2 timeouts and 1:25 to go.
Admire the fight in Andy Reid's Chiefs. Now 38-7, I believe, at one point, Mike.
31-7.
31-7. They have hung in there, and who knows what can happen if they make this 2-point play.
Packers subbing to match the personnel of Kansas City. It is the fullback Anthony Sherman who is next to Alex Smith.
Boy, this is not good. Kansas City showed their formation, and they've stopped action.
Well, they're still waiting for the confirmation on the touchdown. That's one of the reasons that they are waiting.
Perhaps Andy Reid wants to re-huddle and call a new play.
Will finally confirm the touchdown. Just to keep the game alive. Smith throwing in traffic, incomplete to Avant. They showed a little bit of that zone read look there. Unable to lure any Packers away from the receiver, and Avant was well covered. Micah Hyde back there. So 38-28 with 1:25 left. Headline from this game will be the Aaron Rodgers 5-touchdown performance. That gives Aaron 10 here on the season with no interceptions. And Peyton Manning is the only player to have more than 10 touchdowns with no picks in the first 3 games to start a season. That was Manning's 2013 return season, his second season with Denver, when he threw 55 touchdowns and won the league MVP, led the league in completions, attempts, yards, touchdowns as well.
All he has to do is stay healthy, Mike. You know, in the last couple years when Green Bay has been knocked out, I think a lot of it has to do with Rodgers being injured. He had the calf last year. He was not able to run around. A couple years ago, he had the shoulder and missed a lot of time. If Aaron Rodgers stays healthy at this point in his career, the way he's playing, he might throw a lot of records this year.
Onside kick attempt coming. Santos will come to the side with fewer players, and Micah Hyde will fall on it with 1:24 to go. So Rodgers once again does not throw an interception here at Lambeau, so we'll extend that streak another game. That's 16 starts, 486 attempts, and 43 touchdowns without an interception.
43 touchdowns and no interceptions
at home. Yeah. Last 16. He's now 38-3 in his last 41 starts here at Lambeau as well.
Score a lot of points with him at the helm.
And if we add the 35 attempts, it makes it 580 passes at Lambeau without an interception if you include playoff games.
Josh Mauga almost had one tonight, Mike.
Yes, he did. Starks runs left. Chiefs try to pull at the ball. Andy Reid takes his second to last timeout. He has one left. That's why Green Bay is not just taking a knee here because of the 2 timeouts the Chiefs have. So it's to San Francisco, really to Santa Clara to play the 49ers in what the Packers hope is one of 2 trips out there. They'd love to be back there for Super Bowl 50. Speaking of Super Bowl 50, this is a rematch of Super Bowl 1, and one of the coolest things, we get great opportunities with this job. Coaches, legends of the league, sit down, spend a half hour talking to the Aaron Rodgers, Peyton Mannings, Tom Brady's of the world. But there were a dozen Super Bowl 1 alums of the Packers at the practice yesterday, and there we were watching them watch and meet Aaron Rodgers and some of the current Packers in the shadow of Lambeau Field. Just a unforgettable experience.
Unforgettable. Jerry Kramer and Willie Davis, Donnie Anderson, some of the all-time great Packers still in full support for the green and gold.
Starks with the tackle. Super Bowl 1, Jan 15, 1967, John.
My favorite game ever, Mike. 17 Hall of Fame players played in this game. Emmett Thomas, Bobby Bell. Look at all these great players. Bart Starr, Lenny Dawson. Was Ray Nitschke tough or what? How about Max McGee? Coming off the bench, making this one-handed catch, taking it to the house. Look at Vince Lombardi. They named the trophy after him.
That's right. Of course, McGee.
Super Bowl 1.
That's right. McGee seldom used at that point. And Boyd Dowler hurts his shoulder. McGee went out partying on the town. Didn't think he was going to play. Ended up having to borrow a helmet. It was called the first AFL-NFL World Championship game. The term Super Bowl comes from that toy, the Super Ball, that Norma Hunt and Lamar Hunt, the parents of the current CEO of the Chiefs, Clark Hunt, they bought all the kids those Super Balls. And he said, we suggest that name, and it ended up sticking finally. And that's Emmett Thomas, Hall of Famer, still on the Chiefs coaching staff working with their DBs.
48 years he's been in the league. I coached with Emmett at Philadelphia. He was a defensive coordinator. How big was he as a cornerback? You know, back in the day, man. About Lenny Dawson is here calling the game for the Chiefs radio. I wonder what he thinks of all those run game solutions. He's probably thinking, you know what, I could complete it 80% if I had those. Two great players, great memories that they provided for a lot of football people.
No play here as the Packers maximize the time off the clock. Send the punting unit on, and Rodgers will leave along with the rest of the offense.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
I got on the punt team, Mike. Here's Clay Matthews. Linebacker, defensive end, punt team. He's one of those throwback Green Bay Packers that would have played in Super Bowl I. He played both ways if you let him.
For what it's worth, that was the 19th accepted penalty tonight. Average in the NFL has been over 15, as high as we've had the per game average over the last decade. The Anthony Thomas from the 11. Well, covered by Green Bay. 19 seconds left. Both teams out of timeouts. So Green Bay will join the other teams at 3-0, the Patriots, and for as great as Rodgers has been, so too has Tom Brady in the 51-point performance they put up against Jacksonville. Cincinnati, undefeated. Broncos getting that win last night, also undefeated. Here in the NFC, Green Bay, Atlanta, who we saw the opening Monday night, Carolina, and Arizona. Carson Palmer playing the quarterback position at a great level. 7 teams off to the undefeated start. Baltimore, Detroit, Chicago, New Orleans. Still looking for that first win. Smith, middle of the field, incomplete. 12 seconds left.
Alex Smith hasn't thrown for 300 yards very often. I think just 4 times in 107 starts. Here he is sitting around 290, Mike. I know statistics are meaningless, but wouldn't you like to stick another 300-yard game out there if you're Alex Smith?
For the 27, you see what he sees. There's a whole lot of green from the defensive front. Been the story of the night and a fitting way to close it out. The Packers remain undefeated. The Chiefs fall to 1-2. And Aaron Rodgers put on another one of those primetime shows. 24 of 35, 333 yards, 5 touchdowns. 2 guys who've gotten to know each other, inexorably linked through being in the same draft class. GMC postgame on SportsCenter comes up next. We're back in a few seconds from Green Bay with the Grid and Grinder, and then we'll send you to Scott Van Pelt and SportsCenter. It all comes up in a moment.